My hair is full. I'm good to go.
All right. Hey, everybody. Look at that. We're live. Hey, chat room. Joined by Harry Tarjanian.
Yay.
The Tarjanian. Do you like Tarjanian? Tarjanian.
So I have settled on Tarjanian.
You have settled on
because
Tarjanian.
I think technically, if you hear my
Tarjanyan.
family,
Tarjanyan.
Terjanyan.
Do they say Tarjanian or Terjanyan?
Terjanyan.
T-E.
Yeah, Terjanyan.
Okay.
But so far, no one has been able to latch onto that, so it became Turjanian.
See, Zarian is made up.
Zarian is made.
It's
that's
a
funny.
totally made up name.
Right.
It means nothing.
It sounds superly Armenian, but it's a pretty good Armenian name.
Yeah.
A Z. You got a Z in there.
Yesterday, my favorite thing to do now is, so I take the 906 train.
Okay.
So historically, the first off-peak trains for the Long Island Railroad on this line are always Persian Jews. That's how it's always been.
First off-peak? Now, why is this?
Just
What
how
are
it
you
is.
telling Harry? What are you telling Harry now?
I'm telling him about
Rich goes
my
away
new
for
hobby.
2 minutes, and you're already telling me about the
Persian Jews.
I was
It is my
on the
favorite
group
thing now.
text about this last night already. So
Yeah.
Okay, so explain this to me.
So my favorite thing to do now is to just Persian Jew gaze.
Okay.
Right? So and I understand every word they're saying because I can understand.
We live right now?
Farsi. Yeah, we are. We're live. Hi, Rich.
oh my God.
Little pre-show.
I didn't know you knew Farsi.
I could understand it. I can't speak it, but I could understand Farsi.
Okay.
And I'm hearing them talk about rugs. I'm like, I can't be hearing them
That's
talk
so
about rugs.
stereotypical.
I'm like, I can't be hearing this. I cannot be hearing this. So I look back, and there's these two old Persian dudes, like scrolling like it's porn, like they're swiping.
But it's rugs.
But it's Persian rugs,
Oh, look
and they're
at it.
like, oh my God, look at this one.
Yeah.
Misha, look how beautiful this one is. And then they're just going off about their rugs. And
Look at the patterns.
I had
Look
to take
at it.
photos of them. I never do this. I took photos. I'm like, just watching two old Persian dudes look at Persian rugs.
And get off on
And
it.
get off on it. They were getting off on
Good
it.
for them. Oh,
And
my
then-
God.
so I
But that's
interrupted
so
the conversation.
Stereotypical.
I interrupted the conversation. I said, hey, fellas, I got two Persian rugs. And they were asking me where it's from. I spoke to them about Persian rugs for like 15 minutes.
Oh, boy.
I have two Persian rugs in my attic that I got as a as a wedding gift.
Yeah, because I've been to your house. I've never seen the Persian rug.
The Persian rugs
been through
used
your
to
house.
be there. No, it used to be in the
it
living
used to
room.
be in the living room.
When the kids
Threw 'em out.
came, when the children arrived,
Smart move.
I removed them because they ruined it.
Yeah, of course.
They ruined the rugs. So I have two Persian rugs. They were given to me as a gift on my wedding, and I was like, this is the dumbest thing ever. Before I knew how much Persian rugs are worth. And it's an old rug. It's not a new rug. It's like 60 years old, this rug. Both rugs.
They gave you a 60-year-old.
60-year-old rug.
So like somebody's passing it down.
Passing it down. I got it. I went for a cleaning because it was filthy when they gave it to me, right? Because they had dogs. So already it was clean, but
This is a strange wedding gift right off
really
the bat.
weird.
Here's the.
They
this
said
is
it's
the-
worth like 30 grand.
Jesus.
It's a hideous rug.
What is?
Hideous.
Why is it worth 30 grand? Just is it handmade or?
Yeah, because of the region that it's from. It's like this whole
So
story.
they got it from legit.
You know what I use? I use a ruggable, and I wash my rug.
Right.
It's a washable rug. That's what I use.
I agree with that. I don't know. That's old school. My dad
Very
had
old
my
school.
dad had a Persian rug.
You have to. I mean, or an Afghan rug.
I guess I don't know the difference. I just remember.
Welcome
I
to
thought it was-
Rugmen.
Yeah, Rugmen, the new offshoot podcast.
oh boy,
I didn't know you knew Farsi. That's pretty cool. But
Harry, you look good, man.
thank you, brother. You're looking not so bad yourself, my brother. How you looking good? I like
Thanks,
the
bud.
haircut.
I appreciate
I like
it. Yeah,
the
thank you.
undercut. Suits you
Thanks,
well.
man.
It's very
I did it
Dean
myself.
Ambrose-ish.
Very Dean
Oh
Ambrose.
yeah,
Yeah, that's what it reminded me. But did you do it yourself? You said.
this is me too wary about going to my gross barber, and I do it myself.
Do you really?
Oh wow, that's not
I
bad
do,
for doing it
yeah.
yourself. Yeah. Let me see. Can I get a look at the sides if you don't mind? That's pretty good. That's pretty damn good.
It's that COVID
Who
fade.
notices? Who noticed the weird overlay? Thank you for that, Jonathan.
Can you move me over a little bit?
Yeah, I gotta fix you. I miss you, Rich.
I miss you too, bud.
Can we now the restaurants are open? Can we start doing lunches?
Yeah, let's do lunches. I don't want to sit inside though. Outdoor only.
You want, really?
I'd be
Yeah.
fine with that. I understand that. I get that.
Listen, I don't want to breathe anybody's breath.
That's true. Especially after this.
Yeah,
I've been
especially
flying periodically, and it's always a little bit nerve-wracking when you have
Do you have to
go.
wear your mask the whole time?
Yeah, you're supposed to.
And already it's like dirty air, you know?
Well, I heard the other way around that the air in the plane is actually they have to recirculate it because they have to provide oxygen in the cabins.
So
you
is
know?
that better?
I think so. That's what I heard one person say. But again, did I do the research on it? No. Did I do any following up? No.
No.
But because I have to fly regardless. My girl's out there, so I go there for a month here and then
So Harry
back
is
and
not
forth.
moving.
I'm not moving, Rich, yet. Andrew misinformed you a little bit.
Yeah, of course he did.
I was misinformed.
You misunderstood.
You're just visiting. You're
I'm
just going
visiting,
back and forth.
Yeah, it's a little bit. I'm technically, I guess, at this
Well,
point,
he
I'm
said
bi-coastal.
I'm going to California, and I'm like, oh, he's moving. I don't know
Oh,
why. I
jeez.
automatically
I'm
thought
sorry.
you're moving.
I should have. No, I was just taking a trip out there. I go on and off. My girl is out there. So during the pandemic and not having I'm just doing freelance stuff right now. So there's no reason not to kind of go out there and enjoy it for a little bit and then come back and then.
Harry, when I
Yeah.
put you in a double box with
Yes, sir.
Rich,
Mm-hmm.
would you be able
What's
to
that?
look
Oh, sure.
at him?
Yeah, I could look at Rich.
But it
Hey,
doesn't.
hey, buddy.
That's the only time you really need to.
Okay.
I mean, if you want to
When,
look at him the entirety of the show.
I
what
don't mind looking at Rich's beautiful visage.
Thanks, bud. What Andrew's telling you is you got to pay attention to the monitor now.
Oh, yeah. Well, which is ironic because in order to pay attention to the monitor, I got to look that way. This is
Right.
more complicated than I thought. You guys are really
It's-
doing.
It's
a
tough
very
because you got
complicated
to.
setup now.
Andrew's like 3 feet away from you, but you have to look like over his shoulder, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But there we go.
Well, Jonathan it freaked him out being in here.
Like
Oh.
in what way? Like big fan, like first time, long
First
time
time-
style.
No,
or
no.
what?
Like he because it looks so much bigger.
Yeah.
You know, the studio looks huge. It's actually not that big. Actually, it's not a bad size. It's bigger
No,
than
no,
most
it's a-
radio
yeah,
stations.
most radio stations
Yeah.
are super tiny. But
But
it's
you worked at K-Rock, right? No, you worked at.
I worked at XM,
X-
Sirius XM.
And then you didn't do the before Opie and Anthony?
I was K-Rock? No,
No, what were they on before?
they were on Sirius XM. They were on
Before-
XM. Oh, they were at
NEW?
NEW. So I
Yeah.
worked with Ron and Fez.
Okay.
I got hired to be an intern at Ron and Fez like a week before the Sex for Sam contest. It was
Okay.
perfect timing.
Perfect timing for you.
I think I was scheduled to do it. A week later, they did Sex for Sam. I'm like, am I even going to come in? And nobody had any clue. Nobody had any idea. And they
Or-
stayed on for months.
All right, let me just tweet out that we're live.
Yeah.
Are those the notes, Harry?
They
Yeah, those are
are.
the notes. Yes, sir.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Is it your first time doing notes, you guys?
No, we've been doing it for
Yeah,
a while, but
it's
I
pretty
print
good.
them out for myself.
This is a pretty good note. Well detailed.
Very detailed. MG Geek with the notes.
It's cool that the last two guests like you and Kyle, both have the notes, which I like a lot.
Sure,
Them
why
to
not?
have it.
Helps. Yeah.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of notes. It helps when I do commentary too and everything. You know, you always want. I'm also a fan of having them in paper. I always like having paper in front of me, even if I have my laptop with me.
Jonathan, did you email me the preview image? You know what? It's too late for this. I'm not going to change it. Actually, I have to change it because I don't know why it's not taking the image. Sorry.
So, is
Rich,
Walt-
you there, right?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
Wow, your gate is working really well today.
Thanks, man. I do pride myself on a
On your
pretty
gate?
tight gate.
On the
Yeah,
audio
your
gate.
Your gate is
nice.
tight.
That's a tight gate.
Hang on, guys. Sorry.
No
Give me
worries.
like 2 seconds here. Rich is very busy. I know that. He
so-
needs to get the hell out of here.
Is Walter coming or not?
I like your
Sure.
shirt.
Thank you.
It's a good shirt.
It's a 7-line exclusive. Jonathan, did you email me the images? There it is. Thank God. All right, let me do this. For some reason, my shit is broken. So YouTube has this weird thing when you add the thumbnail now, it doesn't add it for some reason.
Oh boy.
We gotta start creating them.
We do.
Yeah. I
No,
think
but
that
you-
because then
Oh, you know why? Because it's a PNG. And it's bigger than 2 megs.
Oh, I hate that.
Ugh. It's such a pain in the ass.
You can't even do screen grabs. I hate when I just want to do a quick screen grab and go, "Hey, this is my JPEG."
So
and
now,
I go,
yeah, now I got to export it, right? Now I got to bring it down in quality because it's like 3 megs. Such a pain in the ass. and their YouTube thing is so broken. Their whole system.
It could be worse. I know Instagram, I just heard they don't want anyone reposting TikToks
Yeah, so you
on
can't.
Instagram.
Yeah, you can't do
Interesting.
the what are they called? Reels. All right. So
Can't do the
this is
busted
good.
challenge.
I'm gonna do a busted challenge
Another
live on
one?
the air, but I'm gonna be nude.
Oh boy. All right.
I'm gonna be.
Thanks
for
butt
the
naked
heads
this
up.
one.
Are you going to do that thing you told us you did yesterday when you talked to your guy?
Yeah.
So vague on this show sometimes.
I wish I could say that joke on the air.
Oh boy, Cameron Grimes. I'm watching the NXT on the thing, and Cameron Grimes is finally pull up in a Lamborghini.
All right. You guys ready?
Yep.
All right.
You got a nice
All right,
haircut
boys
too,
and
Andrew.
girls. I'm sorry?
You got a good haircut too.
Thank you. Yeah, I did I got the sides.
It's good, man.
My hair's really long though. It's time to cut it.
Yeah.
I'm looking ridiculous.
Well,
I'll
I know-
leave it.
Here's
I'm
the-
looking like a guy that never let rock and roll leave my life at this
no,
point.
I
If
don't
let
think so at all.
If I pony this thing, it's a ponytail.
Yeah, you don't want that. Don't pony it. But I think like that is I like how Wardlow has it, where it looks really
Yeah.
intense. That I
Uh,
like. Oh, he's really tossing
hey,
some
Rich.
cash around.
Bachelor 3000 wants to know PMX's street cred today.
Ooh, was that did that get retracted? I was trying to look at it in the chat.
Yeah, I don't know why he deleted it. Maybe he spelt it wrong. But he wants to know what PMX is rich, right?
PMX is rich. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I told him what it was.
That's a great name.
It is, right?
That's a great.
Imagine like DMX, but with the P stuff.
I like a good what the initials stand for type of thing. And it's like a CM Punk thing.
That's exactly what it is. All right, guys, you ready? All
I thought
right.
it was a workout program, but now
All right. We're
It
doing
is.
this?
It is a
Yes.
workout.
All right. We'll begin in 3, 2, and 1. Hold on. Let me do that one more time. Sorry, guys. 3, 2, and 1. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Matt Men, your source for all things professional wrestling. I'm Andrew Zarian on this jam-packed episode of Matt Men. Of course, I'm joined by Mr. PMX himself, Rich Stambolian.
Oh yes, put him.
Mr.
That's more Ja
PMX
Rule, though.
That is a good job rule. With us, a regular contributor to the show, a good friend of ours, obviously known this dude for many, many years. A hysterical stand-up comic, the one, the only, the horny
goodness.
Harry Tarjanian.
Oh wow. Thank you very much.
Isn't
That
that
intro
your
took
thing?
I mean that I'm horny?
Yeah, all the time.
I mean I am, but I didn't make it my thing.
we
But now
started
that you
a rumor
bring
on the
it
show
up,
about this.
oh that I'm horny all the time.
You're a horny dude.
I mean I have a very active sex life if that's what you're asking. Which
No,
I'm
no,
not,
no,
or
no.
not
Just like everything.
just
everything.
everything makes me horny.
Everything.
I mean,
Oh yeah.
you know what? I've had a couple meals that are pretty good.
Yeah,
a
yeah, me
nice
too.
slice of cheesecake that I go, oh yeah,
You know,
Yeah.
my wife made me ravioli the other day,
mm-hmm.
and I was eating it in bed out of the pot. 'cause
Okay,
I'm an utter degenerate, and I looked at it. I'm like, it's kind of giving me a chub.
nice.
I'm
That'll
enjoying this.
happen.
I'm enjoying this ravioli out of the pot.
That'll
Listen,
happen. That'll make.
Older guys, man. When guys get older, food makes you horny.
Listen, guys, we have so much to talk about today. I'm glad Harry's here. Harry's headed
Yeah.
to Los Angeles
For a little bit.
for a little bit.
For a
So
couple weeks.
when he gets back, he'll be coming back. But Harry's a brilliant stand-up comic.
Oh, thank you.
I've seen his stand-up unknowingly. I've seen your stand-up without kind
Oh,
of.
really? How did that happen?
I've seen you at I didn't know that you were performing.
This
Where
is
did-
when
Do you
was
remember?
this?
I went
this.
to the guys that opened up.
It's the stand.
Yeah, the stand. There you go.
Oh, I was on the stand.
You were on
Wow,
the
that's
stand.
that's so funny that you came by. I mean, I wasn't there that often.
it was
very
like when they
often.
just opened.
Wow. Okay,
around that
I had
time.
no idea about this, and the
I just
entire
didn't-
time we've been
I stayed
friends.
quiet.
There
Didn't
you
say a
go.
word.
Well, good thing it was funny.
You were
God
very
damn.
funny. Very funny guy.
Yeah, you could see that on YouTube and look up all my social media. There's some
He does a
clips
great
and
Brando.
stuff there. Oh, that's right. The Marlon. You can look up Marlon Brando. That's the whole character bit I do. That's very fun.
Yeah, I like it. He's eating a sandwich.
He's eating. Well, he's there is a documentary they were shooting on him, and he insists on eating a sandwich in between because he's Marlon Brando.
Who cares,
Mm.
right?
That was a
Brando.
great bit to do, but it was one of those bits that I had to stop doing because it involved like purchasing massive amounts of food. every time. It was like a whole sandwich, a pizza, nachos. I had a jacket that I just set up that I would have nacho cheese in the jacket.
Beautiful.
I set up a whole thing. So
I love it.
definitely worth checking out.
Very carny character.
Yeah. Amongst the many.
Amongst the many.
And the most carny, myself, Harry Turjanian, as the owner in Catalyst Wrestling.
The owner of Catalyst Wrestling. The owner is the carniest of them all. We have so much to talk about here. Good wrestling this week. I watched everything. I'm still on NXT. I'm rewatching it because it's kind of hard to watch two shows at once.
Well, yeah, that's why you shouldn't put them on against each other.
I
Yeah,
know.
that's a very good point,
Right?
Andrew.
Rich, do you watch both of them at the same time, or do you watch one and then you go to the other one?
I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
So usually I will watch AEW like pretty much because I find it more fun. It unwinds me after a long day. I will flip to NXT once Mr. Gonzo goes bananas in the chat room in our group chat. You know, like we have our like group chat going. So when our producer MG Geek, he's like, "Yo, you got to check this stuff out." I'll flip to the other channel and then like I'll come back. So like that's usually how I watch it. But other than that, NXT Thursday mornings before the show.
Beautiful. Where do you want to begin, Rich? You pick. You want to stick to Gonzo's notes?
Let's stick to Gonzo's notes because I think the WWE stuff this week is gonna be super quick. You know, I mean, we have plenty to talk about, but might as well get like that stuff out of the way because it's WrestleMania season and we need a sign to point to.
Yeah, that's all we got to do. So a lot
just point to
right
Harry
now. That's the sign. I'm just gonna. You can see my finger pointing too. You gotta. So a lot of stuff is moving. Obviously, we're post Royal Rumble. We're post that. We have a pay-per-view this Sunday, which we're going to be talking about. NXT Takeover Vengeance Day, which we are going to be doing a live watch along on F4W and Wrestling Observers. I believe possibly both the Twitch stream and YouTube. I gotta find out where we're doing it, but I think we're going to be on there for sure.
That's great.
I just don't know which platform we're going to be on, so we'll announce that in the next couple days.
And this is on Valentine's Day, which I think is great. This is going to create a lot of conflict for some people.
Oh, it's creating a lot of conflict for me. I'm just telling you right now.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
Oh, really?
I'm kind of in trouble.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, no, you gotta.
My wife told me she believes this is going to turn into New Year's Eve all over again. Like New Year's Eve. What happened New Year's Eve? I told her 10 minutes. I'll be upstairs in 10 minutes because I was doing like a New Year's thing. I didn't show up till 5:30 in the morning drunk. I stayed in my office and she was devastated that I just abandoned her.
That's a little rough.
Rough.
You made the mistake of not. I mean, at this point, she should be aware that there's a pay-per-view. Like, you should make her aware in advance because there's no way it's going to be 10 minutes.
Babe, there's a pay-per-view. What do you want me to do?
Babe.
Babe. That's how I talk. I talk like a longshoreman from the island. Babe.
They're calling me in.
So, WrestleMania season, obviously, we're on the road to WrestleMania. Listen, it's overtime. I got to do it. It's overtime.
I got to do it for Rich.
It's you got to go. It's time and a half.
It's
that's
time
how
and a
you
half.
throw that in there. But that's the problem is you make your own schedule.
Listen, babe, what do you want me to do? Brian Alvarez called me. It's time and a half.
Yeah.
We could use the money.
Yeah.
You know,
babe,
these
come on.
floors aren't gonna wax themselves.
What do you want? A new bathroom, right? So WrestleMania season, obviously things are kind of moving into that direction. We're seeing where things are falling into place now, which is always fun. I always find that to be the most fun.
I mean, that's part of the appeal of the whole thing.
Yeah, that part is, that really is the appeal. I think a lot of people get frustrated because we're in this weird, I need to know everything mentality now. When it comes to the internet, I'm not talking about the casual fans, right? But majority of the time, people want to know what the end result is going to be before we get there. And it kind of ruins the plan. People don't like surprises.
Well, I'm excited about the Edge thing because I legitimately don't know. Because sometimes they'll do it and you're like, all right, this is obvious that the guy on Raw has been, fighting with Randy Orton. So now this is his chance to get back at Randy Orton or whatever. But with the Edge thing is great because you literally don't know it. There's no storyline reason that he has to pick any one of them other than he just wants a shot at the title, which I think is kind of refreshing in a way.
I'm still with... I'm not going to say I would be disappointed if it's Drew, but I kind of would be disappointed if it's Drew. Yeah, like I don't know. For me personally, and I know some people don't want to see this, but I really want to see the Edge and Roman Reigns match.
You've been saying spear versus spear forever.
For over a year now. Because that was the plan, right? That they set it up a year ago. And that makes the most sense if you put Drew in this. But Drew was kind of in that setup also at the end of that Rumble, So
Yeah.
you
could
could
go
What if it's
any
Walter?
way.
What if it's Walter?
Listen, what if it's Walter? Some people are speculating. Maybe you know what? I would not be disappointed in that. I don't want to see him and Balor though.
Oh, you
Oh,
don't
I
want to
would.
see
I don't
Edge
want to
and
see
Balor.
I don't want to see Edge and Balor. I don't want to see or Edge and Dunn. I for whatever reason that does nothing for me. Some people are into it, not for me. So we're in this weird stalling time frame because there's another pay-per-view. There's going to be like 4 pay-per-views back to back, right? Because we have NXT Takeover Vengeance, which we're going to talk about.
Okay.
We got Elimination Chamber, and we have AEW coming up.
Oh,
Like
boy.
all in a matter of three weeks.
Oh, good time to be
Right?
a wrestling fan.
Very good time to be a wrestling fan. So we're seeing a slowdown of what the program is. Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns are still in a program director. Rich, do
Yes.
you think they should end this at this point, or do you think it's fine to continue?
Honestly, like I'm a big KO fan, and I kind of want to see him unseat Roman Reigns and have like a decent title reign that is not sabotaged by a Goldberg.
Okay, interesting.
I think he's a company player. I think Kevin Owens has brought a lot of positivity to the WWE, and here's a dude who toiled on the indies who I think we all liked as Kevin Steen, and he's been main eventing for the last few years. I really would like him to take that title off of Roman, even though Roman is your on TV Brock Lesnar at this point, right?
Roman is the on TV Brock, pretty much. Listen, he's great. That promo on SmackDown, I don't have it in the notes right now, but because we try to not to go back so many days, but my God, that promo of him screaming at the camera,
Yeah,
and
doing
Lesnar,
some great work.
and Heyman getting startled,
Yeah, he's doing great work.
really
over
good
there
work,
on SmackDown.
really good work. So that program is continuing. Edge and Bianca are waiting to announce who they're gonna challenge. I mean.
And the Elimination Chamber could change all of it, but
Yes.
I don't see much changing. I don't see them ending Drew McIntyre's run or Roman in through the well, I guess he's not in the Elimination Chamber. Never
Who?
mind. Roman.
Yeah.
No,
It's just
but
the Raw
Drew
Elimination
is.
Chamber. But
Drew
Drew
is.
I just
Right.
would find it weird if they did that. I mean, it's not like they haven't, but it's pretty rare.
I always
So-
have a problem with that, right? We
Yeah.
spoke about that last week, how you put the champion in, and the champion should be like hosting and prepping for his opponent, not
Right.
defending. I feel like having him defend kind of takes the build, the allure of who it's going to be out, because now you're adding another element that you may, for a lot of people, they don't want to see. I don't know. It takes me out of it.
Well,
I kind of agree to some end.
Absolutely, but the biggest upset that happened was a couple of years ago with Bray Wyatt, right? Like he won at the Elimination Chamber and went on to face Randy Orton on the worm thing, on the
At
wormy go round,
WrestleMania,
right?
yeah.
The weird thing about this Elimination Chamber, for me at least, is everybody involved, apart from AJ Styles, is the 2009 men's WWE roster.
Yeah, it's a lot of
Really?
older guys. Yeah, it's not a lot of new
Yeah.
guys. And
Interesting.
AJ at this point has been around for 5 years, so he's not a
Yeah.
4 or 5 year.
Well, who do we have? We have Sheamus, Miz,
Mm-hmm.
Randy Orton.
Orton, AJ, and Jeff Hardy, right?
Yeah.
And McIntyre. Yeah, you're right.
Right.
2009, yeah.
Yeah. so
This
it's
was
a lot
like
of-
the chosen one era of WWE, right?
Yes.
Like
They were all
right
the
when
chosen
McIntyre
ones.
came in. So it's very fascinating, and I feel like they might do like this bizarro move and have like Jeff Hardy win.
Oh, God.
Wow, that would be very
Yuck.
That would not be great. Well, here's the other interesting thing is I'm never a fan of the Money in the Bank winner getting a title shot before they cash the Money in the Bank.
Before they cash
like
it
the
in,
Miz.
yeah.
So it's like he's got 2 title opportunities, which to me is very. It takes away from him a little bit. I thought the whole point, now he's got a backup plan, I guess.
I don't know. I the Money in the Bank is an interesting thing to have in play. And some years they have it in play, and some years they don't. The Miz having it, I don't think it's necessary for him.
No, it's not. I don't. It doesn't create any more excitement for me when I
Yeah.
see the Miz, and I like the Miz.
I
to
do
be
too.
honest.
Same with me.
But it doesn't. Him having the Money in the Bank thing doesn't make it any more. It was more interesting when Otis had it, but obviously that was never gonna that was never going to stay
Yeah.
Otis being the champion. But
Imagine him cashing in on Brock.
Oh yeah.
Otis?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that would be
Oh,
Yeah. I would love that. I actually would have enjoyed Brock just sitting on him and smothering,
destroying him,
just choking him. Like he would just smother him with a pillow.
Oh, with a pillow.
Yeah,
like a My Pillow.
Yeah, like a My Pillow.
Yeah, get that guy involved.
They're
Mania,
friends.
celebrity
They're
time.
friends.
You got to get celebrities involved.
Yeah. What's his name? What Lindell?
Oh, I don't. Mike
Lindell? Yeah, Mike Lindell.
Uh,
Brock would like him.
former crack addict and current.
He's from Minnesota.
Oh, Mike Lindell.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
he's a Minnesota
they get
guy.
along. They
would
have
get along.
ice fishing stories and then
So
do a mixed tag with Bad Bunny.
Yeah. Shane McMahon returned on Raw.
Okay, so I missed the context of this. Under what context did he return? He just showed up?
Yeah. Pretty much,
Okay,
right, Rich?
fair enough.
What did he do?
That was it.
Remind me, what did he do on Raw? He just
He
showed
came
up.
out. He came out, announced the Elimination Chamber, I want to say, and then
And that was it.
And that was it. But this is making people think, oh, it's WrestleMania season. Is Shane gonna come back for like a big match with somebody for no reason?
Did he have one last year? Or was he not around for last year's?
I don't
I
That's a
don't
good
remember
question.
one.
Did he fall off of anything last year at the Performance Center? That should be your question.
No,
Mm,
no.
Yeah, I don't
I don't
recall
think. Oh no,
And is
a
it
lot-
2
was
nights
it-
this year?
Mm-hmm.
It is 2
2
nights.
nights.
Sorry.
no.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't
think he
think he-
showed up last year because he's too big time for the
Performance Center?
Performance Center. Yeah,
But he did have Raw Underground happen.
yes,
That's right. He was
Yeah.
doing Raw Underground, and then that just went away, right? But
That just went away.
But he went away with that.
yeah, that was it.
So
He's been in the
bizarre.
He's been in the basement the whole time. You know, I do think it's interesting because about 6 months ago we started reporting that 2021, the first half of 2021, they're going to really rely on bringing names back. That was always the plan
Okay.
for the build for WrestleMania and even WrestleMania moving forward because they feel that there is a casual viewer drawing power when you bring guys like Shane McMahon in or Bill Goldberg or whoever, whoever the
I get
edge,
that. Yeah, I get
right?
that.
Disenfranchised fans, lapsed fans, they're gonna come back, and they're really sticking to this. Last week we were talking about, Rich and I went into this discussion as to why WWE has really gravitated over the last, I guess, year or two to a lot of the older talent. The Saudi shows obviously play a part in this because it opened up this availability with money to bring back guys that you never thought would come back. You've seen so far this year, 2021, we've seen Triple H in a match, right, on Raw. I mean, 3 minutes, but still there.
Still a match.
Marketed. Shane McMahon, Edge, Randy Orton in a major position, right, because he's an older name. Bill Goldberg.
I still think of Randy Orton as current, though.
He's in that
because
weird in
he's-
between.
he's-
What do you think,
he's
Rich?
on there week
Do you
after
think
week.
Do you think Randy Orton's like an old timer now, or do you think would you consider him like part of the roster?
I consider him part of the roster because he's been involved every step of the way. But I mean, by that regard, would you consider Sheamus or Ziggler old timers also?
That's
or
a-
Kofi?
that's
No, they're
fair
part of the
question.
roster. They're still there.
Yeah, that's a fair question. But they will be bringing in more people.
Who else did they? Well, I guess you don't know for sure.
Well,
but-
The Rock was one option, right? They wanted to bring The Rock back if they were in front of a larger audience. There's been a lot of names thrown around, and the reason why, and a lot of people have asked us, why are they going to this well constantly? Is because that is the only guarantee that they have for a large number boost or a consistent number boost. They cannot guarantee that by putting on a regular main event match, and they haven't really built great talent over the last 6 months. If you think about it, here's a question for you, Rich. Think about this. Who is the biggest star to come out of homegrown biggest star to come out of NXT, Triple H's NXT, on the main roster? Who has become a huge star on the main roster that came out of Triple H's program, obviously?
Do you want to include? Are we including Seth Rollins in this because he was the first NXT champion?
No,
No, because that wasn't Triple H's NXT.
Yeah.
That was before NXT was a weekly show
Okay.
type deal. Before the Performance Center era. Let's say, I guess the Performance Center era was Triple H's project.
Well, no, I would say 2013 on,
Okay.
post Shield on, let's say.
Loaded. I think that's a loaded question because off the top of my head, we were just talking about Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens has been main eventing for the last couple of years, right? He was in NXT for a hiccup. Balor,
true, yeah.
I think when Balor had his initial run on the main roster, winning the Universal title, he was the most over person in that entire company. And then unfortunately he got hurt. So I think that's kind of like a little bit of a sideways loaded question. Does you count Drew because he was part of the company and then went to NXT and then kind of worked his way back?
See, I was trying to lead you somewhere,
Okay.
and I probably didn't present it properly. But
Okay.
if you look at the chat room, they kind of saw it. I would say that the women are the biggest success story out of Triple H's NXT, and not so much the men as far as homegrown goes.
Now,
Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, Bayley. They got over because they came through that program.
That's true, but also remember at the same time with NXT is when they revamped that whole entire women's division in general, because that was around the same time that they stopped doing the divas and give divas a chance type of thing. So it's almost like they rebuilt the women from the ground up,
And they did a great job.
Oh, that's fantastic.
They've been able to
they're the
develop
best parts of the. I think have been the best parts of the show. But now they're kind of doing the same thing with women a little bit, where it's a lot of relying on Charlotte Flair, a lot of
It's matured.
a lot. So there's a lot of the old. Now they're old school, but Sasha Banks and Bayley and I mean, I'm glad Bianca Belair won the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of relying on the old school like Charlotte and
Yeah.
Well, I got a question for both of you guys when it comes to that, because that initial group of women in NXT, let's say Bayley, Sasha, Charlotte, I'll throw Paige in there and I'll throw Becky in there, right? Now, those matches that they all had together in NXT, the takeovers, the Brooklyn shows, all those matches tore the house down, right? People got so happy with them, they threw them on TV. You're not really getting that on the current NXT product. Do you guys think it's because it's on USA that NXT has become a little more hands-on with the producers? That they're not letting them go for 20 minutes and doing like a catch as catch can, like real wrestling match?
No, I don't think it's the production for NXT. I think there's multiple problems, right? I think the perception of NXT has shifted, and that's because of AEW. I think going 2 hours has been difficult because they were not a 2-hour product. What made them successful was not that they were a live 2-hour product. What made them successful was that they were a taped hourly show, that they were able to tape multiple things in one shot and be consistent with the storyline and the angles and the matches. I think you kind of change the mold, and when you change it and now you become a 2-hour product, you're like every other WWE product. And you start losing a little bit of what made you interesting and what made you easy to watch. NXT was the easiest show for me to watch.
It was great, yes.
Every week, because it was 1 hour long. It got to the point. You saw the matches, you saw the build, and then you moved on.
Yeah.
And now it's a 2-hour product.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think also the roster is kind of depleted to a degree. Yeah. I mean, they brought a lot of people up, not using them a ton, but a lot of people have gone through there, and then they're kind of in a rebuilding phase a little bit. I mean, there's some really good talent. I'm watching right now. Timothy Thatcher is there, who I like, but it's still there's guys who are there a while, like Johnny Gargano's been there a while now, Adam Cole and the Undisputed Era, they've been there a while now, so it's a weird little transition phase, I think, too. Yeah. But I don't think you're wrong. I think there's a lot more 2-segment matches on NXT than there would have ever been previously.
So on Raw, Rich, your favorite segment, right, was the My Whole bit?
Oh, my God. Listen, it was funny. I laughed. I'm not going to complain about that. That was awesome.
It was actually hysterical because so I wasn't like paying attention watching it. I thought she got something pushed in there. Like she fell on something sharp or like something happened. Instead, she just fell on her ass.
Right. But if you ever fall, I mean, maybe you fall on something hard, that'll,
I mean,
that'll hurt.
I've never hurt my butthole falling on something. Like flat.
Come on.
Flat.
Come on.
Spiked, possibly.
Spiked, possibly. Well, first of all, you're saying accidentally. It's different if you're putting something in there. That's you know what you're doing.
Story.
There's a lot of setup. I mean, yeah, I don't know.
It went viral.
It did. Do you think she was just doing that to pop herself and like Lana or whoever was involved?
Yeah. What do you
and it
think?
just got picked up by the mic?
Yeah, Rich. What do you think? You think she did it just to like go into business for herself?
No, I think she was probably like, she was caught up in the moment. She tried to make it fun, and it came out. But maybe she was like, the mics aren't gonna catch that. Nobody's gonna hear what I said. You know?
They censored it. They took it off the Hulu and the replay. They took it off.
They took it off or bleeped it?
They
just
took
took
it off.
Oh man, can't have any
They
fun.
took it off because they posted it. So WWE intended on this becoming a thing, right? Her screaming my ass or whatever.
Yeah.
Because they chopped it up because they recognized that it was working. But they took out the funniest part.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I've only seen it on social media because I didn't watch Raw this week.
Oh yeah, they removed it. They took the whole thing out.
But I just saw her. Yeah, you're saying the funniest part of the whole show.
Oh, that was the best part of the whole show.
Yeah, but that also leads you to understand it's such a big company that there's different divisions making different decisions about what's going on.
Yeah. Nia Jax, that was a big moment. Other Elimination Chamber matches have been added also, which we'll go into next week when we're closer to the pay-per-view. Bobby Lashley will be defending the IC title in a triple threat match with Matt Riddle and Keith Lee. So Bobby Lashley's up for a big push post-Mania.
I hope so.
This dude looks insane.
Yeah.
Rich, how impressive is this guy?
He looks ridiculous. He looks like he looks exactly like an action figure. That it's bananas. And I feel like at this point, I'm pretty convinced that he's just always looked like that since he was a kid.
I think that's how he was. He came to this planet like that.
Like that?
He comes
wrapped
from
in a blanket with a big B on it.
He hatches from a rock. That's how he was born. It's like a Superman. It's like a weirdo Superman thing. They're just rock people, and they crack the rock. He comes
he's
out.
always looked incredible.
The guy has not aged one bit. His body is remarkable.
He's like 50, right?
He's like no. Well, in his planet's years, he's like 450 years old.
He's immortal.
In Earth years, he's like 44, 45, whatever he is. I would love that to be a series.
Bobby Lashley's his origin
I
story.
want to see his rock parents. You know.
It's Tony Atlas is one of his
Tony
his dad.
Atlas. Well, no, Tony Atlas is like a higher. It's like he's like one of like the higher
or the
council,
elders.
one of the elders.
One of the elders.
And he decided that he needs to go to Earth.
I like it. I'd be down for it if you.
Tony
get
Atlas
DC.
just kicks the rock and it just flies off to Earth.
And that's how we end up with Bobby Lashley.
That's how you end up
How do
with
we
Bobby
explain
Lashley.
why he got the Impact years?
He was growing
that's
pains.
right.
Yeah, he was just becoming the boy that we knew he'd become.
He got lost.
He got lost. He got lost for a little bit. He's
Even
always
in
been in phenomenal shape. He's always been in
Unbelievable.
phenomenal shape. I just think there's needed to be something else with it. I like the Hurt business. I like what they're doing.
Yeah. We also have Asuka and Lacey Evans for Elimination Chamber, and this definitely is going to set up an Asuka and Charlotte match. I'm now more convinced about this, that we're going to get this set up, and it's going to be Asuka and Charlotte, and you know, I don't know how you're going to turn Charlotte heel, but doesn't that seem where you want to go?
I think it's going to be a big swerve where Flair has been behind his daughter the whole time.
I've been behind like that, cutting one of those promos.
Harry, can you do a Ric Flair impression?
Not really. I mean, you got the standard like to be the man. You got to beat the man.
I like later Flair.
Oh, later Flair.
He's a little
like,
wet mouth.
Boy, I'm gonna be in the Hall of Fame 4 times.
Yeah.
Once when Orton retires.
There you go.
When I go in with Triple H, and 4 times. So that's 4 rings I'm gonna pawn.
Perfect.
Ooh.
I love it.
I love Ric Flair.
Love it.
Don't get me wrong. I love Ric Flair.
So Rich, where do you want to go?
Yes, sir. I want to go to Bobby Lashley's Rock Planet. I want to see what else is
What's that's all about?
So I think, I'm going to be a good boy here and follow the notes. Let me ask you a question, Andrew.
Yeah.
Do you think the Super Bowl set a template for WWE regarding fan attendance at WrestleMania?
Yeah, so I got some news on this. You want to hear it?
Shoot.
So WWE's been down there for the setup. I know that they had people down there for the entire Super Bowl setup. NFL was very gracious
In allowing them
to kind of see how this
work.
is working, because I think they know that this is a big deal to put together an event like this, and I think that everybody's all these companies are kind of like, all right, the more events, the better it is for us. You know, the more we can gear
of
up for this. So
do you think McMahon watched the halftime show with The Weeknd and went, "That's good, but what about Flow Rider?
what about Florida? They were in Florida,
And you're not using Flow Rider?
he just
missing a
calls
big
him Florida.
opportunity.
He just calls him Florida. He doesn't call
You're
him
not
Flow
using
Rider.
Florida? You're missing a big opportunity, Roger."
Honestly, I think with like the pop stars that they get, Vince is probably like, okay. Like, he doesn't have any idea. It's like, Vince, we can get Bad Bunny.
Not.
You think he knows who Bad Bunny is?
Absolutely not. No,
definitely not.
somebody showed him the numbers and then showed him the music video, and that was the day he said yeah to that.
Nice. Friends with Booker?
Yeah.
He loved it.
Great. Who's that guy? I should get him to wrestle for me.
Who's
he doesn't
that
even know who
guy?
Booker is.
Yeah.
He doesn't even know who Booker is at this point. Honestly, because I kind of feel like this is how that goes. His grandkids, like Triple H's kids and Shane's kids, are like, yo, we love this guy. And then Triple H is like, Pop, my kids really like this Bad Bunny character. And he's like, okay, whatever. I don't care. Is he a real bunny? I don't give a shit. Just hire the guy.
We had one of those once.
We had a bunny.
And it didn't work.
So they've been down there. They've been trying to figure out how they're going to pull this off. NFL had more than 25,000 people, right? What was the final number that they had? They had 25,000 plus they gave away like 6,000 tickets.
Wow.
For I think to like first responders, right? It was that I someone in the chat I'm sure is going to remind me. But they had a large amount of people there. There was a big story about Vince being totally against having the cardboard cutouts in the crowd. I never heard that from WWE's side. I know that that's been an option in the past. I haven't heard anything about this one.
It actually looked pretty good on TV.
I
didn't realize. I was actually annoyed when I first saw it. I go, "What are they doing? They have it's a full stadium. This is insane."
No, it looked really good.
It looked really good.
It looked really good. So I believe they will be doing. They had 7,500 tickets for first responders, frontline workers.
So they had 25,000 fans, 30,000 cutouts.
30,000 cutouts, 25,000 fans, and 7,500 given away.
Yeah. Okay.
So, I mean, that's a big building. There's a lot of people in there. NFL pulled it off. I know people that were there for the event. It's actually very impressive. There's this one machine that you just walk through, and it tells you
if you have COVID.
If you potentially have it, yeah. Like it's able to do some AI scan and figure it out. That's what everybody was showing me. Like I had a whole bunch of friends that went down there.
I mean, I'm not a conspiracy guy. That machine doesn't work.
How well could it work?
That's one of those old like machines that's got light bulbs in it. Light bulbs and like a whirly bird thing on it. And they go, "You're
told
good."
Jess, I was making. Listen, it's possible it works. You know what is this thing from the 50s?
The thing that used to the belt that used to
belt?
shake you.
The girdle?
Yeah.
The girdle shaker?
The girdle shaker.
Yeah, it used to be, the theory was that if you shook the fat, it was technically moving the fat or exercising.
I think that machine is the equivalent of that.
I agree. I agree. I think you're like, I'm getting a workout in.
Yeah. First time I saw it in Pee Wee Herman.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I Love Lucy. I Love Lucy had that too. Victor was there at the event in our chat room, so maybe he could give us some more information on how they did the scanning. But so WWE, I'm expecting. It's not 100%. I expect them to have the cardboard cutouts. I expect them to have like legends in the cardboard cutouts.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
You know, they'll do like
100%.
You know, all these old timers are going to be in there, and they're going to laugh about it. And then R-Truth is probably going to be in the crowd with his arm around like somebody ridiculous.
John Cena, probably.
Maybe a John Cena. Maybe I'm thinking even more ridiculous from like the 80s.
Like Hacksaw?
Like a Hacksaw. There you go.
Coco Beware.
A cardboard cutout of Hacksaw Jim Duggan or Coco, and he's talking to him, and he's like, well, I don't know why he's not responding to me. Whoa,
yeah. He's
wacky
really
zany.
quiet. Why don't you get up? It's a great show.
I'm willing to bet they're going to do that.
That would be great.
Yeah.
I think that would be great.
Second, WWE has an advantage here. They're selling 25,000 tickets. Or 20 whatever. Let's say 25.
They don't have to use the whole stadium.
They're not using a whole stadium. A lot of it is going to be the set and everything. But they got 2 nights to do this, so they actually going to have about 50,000 attendees.
Right.
You know, obviously they're going to overlap, but that's pretty cool. They're going to have 50,000 people watch wrestling.
Listen, I think that would be great. I like what AEW is doing. It's very lively with the live crowd. I think NXT is more lively when they have I mean, obviously it's the performers in the Performance Center, but it's still a better energy to me than it is on SmackDown or Raw, to be honest. So I think having any fans is going to make that WrestleMania super fun to watch.
So here's where things are going to get interesting, right? And then we'll go into everything else like NXT and everything else going on. But I felt that this is a big story here. So expect Tampa to have the cardboard cutouts. That's what I'm saying.
For WrestleMania.
For WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. Now the big question is, and this has been the big topic that Rich and I have discussed for the last month, what do they do post-Mania, right? Friday was the conference call, the fourth quarter earnings conference call. We have found out that the Thunderdome is very expensive to produce.
That's interesting.
Because of the LEDs, the cost measures, right? You need operators, and then they have a third party that's helping with this. So it's a lot of hires to put this thing together. They took a little hit, but I think the hit was because they were in the Performance Center for so long. There was no expense. So now there's an expense. But they need to get out of the Thunderdome for baseball. Baseball's coming back.
Oh, that's right.
So where do they go? On the conference call, I cannot remember if it was Nick Khan or somebody else that said it, but they alluded that they are not looking to be in any building till later in the year. Later on in the year. That's what they kept saying.
Not
later
looking
on in
to
the year.
Being in any building in what sense? Like a permanent building or touring? Okay.
But from everything that I've been told, that they are desperately attempting to find buildings to be able to tour. Because Florida, where are they? They're not going back to the Performance Center. That is off the table. That's going to be terrible for them. They can't be in the Thunderdome. So what venue would be available for them to use?
They can't go back to the arena because I guess the arena was being used for hockey and basketball.
And basketball's back and hockey's back. So they need to find a building that technically has nothing going on in it.
Why can't they? But here's
Nassau Coliseum. You could do that, right?
Yeah, you're right. Well, no, the Islanders.
Oh yeah, they are playing.
The
Islanders are playing.
But you also, here's the other thing. Why does it have to be a permanent setup? Because the other alternative is touring. So if you're going to tour and build and break down and build and break down and build and break down, why not just work with one of the arenas and do that the same way they do at Madison Square Garden with the Knicks and the Rangers?
So a couple things here. What kind of threw a monkey wrench in this is that it got accelerated, the reopening. It's gotten accelerated. I think everything has moved up by like 2-3 weeks now with the reopening. New York City yesterday announced that MSG Barclays Center is opening up on the 23rd or 24th with 10% attendance.
Okay.
So you're looking at about 1,700 people, 1,300 people in for each game. MSG is saying they're going to have 2,000 people in the building starting February 23rd. Each event, any Rangers game or Knicks game, 2,000 people in the building. I was told 5,500. And the way that they were going to do it is that they were going to only deal with season ticket holders, because majority of Knicks games, a lot of people don't realize this. Knicks and Rangers games, it's all season tickets.
Yeah, in New York City in particular,
New York City. And most of the tickets that you purchase are from StubHub or a secondary reseller of tickets. That's how, because it's big. It's a big part of wining and dining your clients. Season tickets. So they're looking to do 2,000 people. I'm told from someone at MSG that WWE is very much going in that building in September.
Okay.
They will run shows in September in the Garden.
That's not surprising.
Vince right now has realized that the cost of running empty buildings and touring makes no sense. So they are trying to find out where they could have at least 50% occupancy. 10% is not going to do anything.
But they're not going to make any money.
You're losing money.
They were losing a lot of money on just house shows in general, weren't they? When they were touring?
But it was not. They
weren't doing TV.
Losing. It was kind of even,
right?
Know? So, Rich, what do you think they should do? I mean, this is a big conundrum for them because they have to leave the Thunderdome. They can't stay there.
Right.
What buildings are available and what states are they available? Because there's certain states that the restrictions are still high.
Now, could they do some kind of like New York residency going between like MSG, Hammerstein, and whatever venues? Because I do believe that that's not only Madison
would be perfect because they're not doing shows.
Right. It's not only
Yeah.
MSG that's opening up at the end of the month. I think it's actual like
10,000
concert.
10,000 building arenas are opening.
Right. So at 10% capacity. So you could easily do Hammerstein, Terminal 5, MSG, do like a New York residency for WWE. And I think the other thing that you didn't mention was, which I think is bizarre, and I feel like this is just like an odd little thing. One of the reasons why New York is doing this is because they're doing heavy restrictions, including you need to have proof of a negative COVID test within 3 days of the event you're attending.
Yeah, 72 hours, right?
Right. So, like, for example, let's say, like, I don't know, give me a WWE pay-per-view. Give me Fastlane, right?
Okay,
Let's say they're like, we're doing Fastlane at MSG.
Everybody's favorite pay-per-view, Fastlane.
Everybody's favorite. And then you if you're a fan and you've been sitting in your house for a year, you're gonna get your ticket, and then you're gonna have to scramble to get this COVID test like at like City MD or something, to have like day of proof that you're negative, and then go to the show and wear your mask the entire time so you can see some wrestling. I think it will be a little more lively, kind of like how Harry said the AEW shows are a little more lively because they have, even in a limited audience capacity, it still makes some noise.
Yeah. The noise factor is what sells it. I don't know. Now, you're hearing that Vince won't do anything under 50%. He feels like it's a waste if he can't have people in the building. But you're also hearing that the building availability is very limited. Like New York, someone messaged me, Rich, about the Hammerstein.
Really?
Just now, and said they cannot do the Hammerstein because the Hammerstein won't be open because it is too small of a venue. Only venues with 10,000 or more seats could open.
Oh, okay.
So the Garden Theater, for example, can't be open. I think it's like 6,500 people or so.
Or like Best Buy either,
yeah. So that's going to change in the next month. By the time WrestleMania is over in April, 2 months away,
there might be live crowds.
There's going to be. My expectation is that this 10% concept here in New York, that's kind of setting the notion up for other states. It's only for now, and in a couple of weeks, MSG and Barclays are going to go to the state and be like, listen, guys, we're hemorrhaging money with only 1,000 people, and we need to do 25% or 30%, whatever. So we'll get there. But I still do expect by April, WWE to be touring.
Interesting.
All right.
They'll be touring. For me, the other thing is I don't really love the Thunderdome that much. I don't care. It's okay.
Yeah.
I think it's a cool aesthetic, but having the fans watch virtually never really did much for me.
See, I think that should be a part of what they do moving forward. I think NBA, NFL, I think every single one of them, this has to become an element of what they're doing.
For now, or you mean permanently?
I think permanently. I think they should start selling the tickets. Fan experience, VR experience. Ticket this, $30. You could be in that crowd. You could be, obviously they're not going to do a whole screen, but maybe a couple hundred people like that.
Yeah.
Where now you get a virtual experience of being courtside or being wherever. They've been attempting this for like 5-6 years. Everybody, NFL tried it and NBA tried it. Not ticketed, but they were running. WWE even has a VR experience.
Yeah, I've seen those boxes every once in a while.
Yeah, but it's not, it hasn't been developed. But now there's a market for this, right? There's another opportunity to make money. I expect every single brand to start doing this. I'm going to start doing it. You could be Hogan. You could be where Hogan is right now on the couch. You could pay.
As a guest?
You could pay to be in the studio.
VIP?
You can see what I'm doing when I'm off the camera.
Oh boy. You get all the experience, and also you can't stop it.
Nobody knows what I'm doing right now.
Nobody knows. You could see. Now you can see. Oh boy.
There you go.
And his shirt's off. And his shirt is off. Put it back on. He's quick.
So, there you go.
And just quick.
He's so fast. He's a trained theater actor.
NXT last night, Dusty Classic semifinals. MSK defeated Raul Mendoza and Joaquin Wilde. What's the name of their team?
Legado del Fantasma.
Legado del Fantasma. Yeah, thank you. They had a match. Let me see here. Grizzled Young Vets defeated Timothy Thatcher and Tommaso Ciampa to advance into Dusty Classic. So they're continuing that Timothy Thatcher and Tommaso Ciampa issue here with this. Johnny Gargano injury promo. What did you? Okay, did you see the promo, Rich? Did you listen to the promo?
I did not.
Okay, I had a couple issues with this. I didn't like. They did a throwback to the HBK super kick on
Bret Hart.
on Bret Hart, where he fell off the chair. They did that looked good, but it was kind of silly with Kushida standing. So the whole thing was that Kushida's behind them, and they don't know. And Regal's talking to Kushida, and they're like, "Why are you mentioning Kushida's name? He's not here." And then they turn around and beats him up, and they did the whole thing.
Yeah.
Kushida should win this title.
I think so.
I also am not a fan of heel Johnny Gargano.
I don't mind heel Johnny Gargano, but I think he's stuck between rock and a hard place. At this point,
I'm not saying because of his work. He's just so likable as a person. I kind of feel crappy not liking him or being told not to like him because like he worked his ass off to get there. He really is the backbone of that brand. It doesn't come off natural. Like Randy Orton, natural heel. Brock Lesnar, natural 100%. Heel. I can't look at Randy Orton and say he's not. He comes off as a natural heel, which works out. Johnny Gargano, natural babyface.
Well, I want you guys' opinion on this. You guys. I think the heel Gargano stuff is gonna keep going until there's a major babyface switch, and I think that opponent is gonna be Killer Kross at some point in the future.
It might be a while before they set that up because they're heavy on Killer Kross and who he's destroying, so they'd have to flip Gargano back. It's only been a year or so that Gargano's
less
been?
than that.
Yeah,
right?
But I'm
never a fan of that, but I know what you're saying.
He works as that super underdog babyface, and what better guy to put him against than this monster, Killer Kross?
We'll talk about Killer Kross because he's going to be the big story. Carrying Kross. Yeah, there you go. There is a possibility that match will take place at WrestleMania with Balor.
Balor and
assuming Balor, and I'm not doing a spoiler here.
You mean the NXT Championship?
Yeah, for the NXT Championship, that will become a WrestleMania match. That's a real. You know what? I'm into that.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's
for one reason. Yeah. I want to see those bonkers entrants from both of them.
Oh, okay.
Because Balor has to be the demon in this, right?
You think so?
Let the demon get his first loss.
It's been a long time.
Let the demon get his first loss to another fellow demon, right? What is carrying? He's
more of
a witch man.
I think his wife's the demon.
Yeah, his wife is the demon, and he's possessed by her dark spirits.
Sure.
I want to bring back the term succubus. Bring it back.
She is a succubus. Didn't they refer to her as a succubus?
I don't know.
I could have swore they did.
I just use that word a lot. More often than you think it should be used.
A succubus? Yeah. I like it.
You call everybody a succubus.
Yeah. I overuse it.
I use charlatan a lot.
Charlatan, yeah.
How about a Jezebel? Jezebel.
Or as I refer to Ashante as a Jezebel.
A Jezebel.
He's the Jezebel of New York.
By the way, I really enjoyed that stupid Bust It challenge.
The Ashante
on the TikTok, that you guys did.
Madman Pro Wrestling on TikTok.
You got to thank Jonathan for all that, man. Jonathan does an amazing job with our TikToks. He's like 19, and he's in touch.
He's 19
with the youth of America.
Yeah. He's in touch with the youth of America. He is the youth of America. That's what he goes by. I met him. He came here, actually. He was visiting.
Oh, nice. Good. That's what you need. That's what WWE is missing. That's why Flow Rider ends up getting a phone call.
He looked at me right in the face and he said, "Do you know who I am? I'm the fucking youth of America."
Oh, wow.
And he just walked out of my house.
Good promo.
Yeah.
He got a
slapped
great promo.
Andrew.
Yeah.
Slapped Andrew right in the face.
Yeah.
So if they're going to go Karrion Kross and Finn Balor for WrestleMania, or some kind of match, it would be cool if they somehow pulled off the Karrion Kross entrance, but instead of the wife, it's Finn Balor in like a big swerve surprise, and then he just attacks like Karrion Kross like right off the bat. Oh,
I'm okay with that.
He does all the moves. Does all the weird
I would like
shit.
if only if Finn is wearing the full Scarlet ensemble,
onesie,
the cat suit with the high heels. Like he's got to go full incognito.
Yeah.
I don't want to see like the Predator hat. that he'd come out with
Well,
as
you know
the
what?
demon.
It's so weird because he used to do a lot of costume changes or whatever you call it, different
Licensing.
different characters. Is it licensing?
Yeah.
But they
Yeah.
can come up with something else because they managed to do this Predator or the.
Well, what
I mean,
is he?
it's what's
A
his name?
demonic Rasta.
Yeah, I guess so. But it's how did they not get sued by Spawn or whatever or Venom?
Because it's not. Well, remember, he
Yeah.
never did the Venom thing there. It's its own character.
I guess, but
They've developed their own character. A harlot. That's another
Yeah.
good
a
one.
harlot.
Yeah.
A
You know
harlot.
what? She's a harlot. Scarlet Bordeaux is a harlot.
Yeah,
Oh boy.
Yeah. That's a harlot.
she should have a scarlet S or whatever on her shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm into that.
Yeah.
Character-wise,
into
you
that.
have to preface
Character-wise.
that with
Yes,
character-wise.
Character-wise, character-wise.
Yeah,
Just-
character.
just-
Yeah,
We only talk about characters on the show.
yeah. These are
I
not
don't-
real people.
Have we ever, like, I know a lot of places they take, like, personal attacks at the guys.
Yeah,
Unless you do
Oh,
something
yeah.
heinous, like as a wrestler. Like, you know what I mean? Like, unless you commit a crime or you, like, that's the only time we'll talk about your character. Like, when we're discussing these people, I want you guys to remember we're talking about the character and not the
Sure,
human
yeah.
being. Because these guys all work hard. Even the ones that don't work hard, they're working hard at making this work.
Absolutely.
Johnny Gargano, we've talked about. The Southern $1 Million Man, Cameron Grimes, his new gimmick. He arrives in a Lamborghini. He plays video games as therapy, and he naturally is invested in GameStop stocks and
Mhm.
took those earnings and invested Dogecoin, he called it.
dog coin.
Now, I become a big Dogecoin investor.
okay.
I've been listen, one of my friends like, that's like snake oil salesman, another great old school
Great old
reference.
school.
I'm like, dude, I'm doing okay on this bizarre thing. I'm not encouraging anybody to go and buy
Right.
cryptocurrency.
It's a
this
weird
is not a
whole
stock
thing, but
I bought it at like I think half a penny,
okay.
and it's at 7 cents now.
That's big. That's a big bump.
It's a nice little bump. It's a nice
But then
little
what
bump.
do you do with it? That's a whole other.
Well, I'm going to sell it, and I'm going to take that money and put it in my bank account.
Oh, there you go.
That's what
Okay,
I'm gonna
fair
do.
enough.
So I like that Cameron Grimes is kind of talking about this because it's very
Oh, the
recent.
time. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. What else was on the card? Our favorite, Rich, Shotzi Blackheart and Ember Moon defeated Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. Indy's working. She looked better in this match.
Yeah.
Than previous weeks. To advance for the finals for the Women's Dusty Classic. I really like Shotzi Blackheart. There's something interesting about it. Xia Li defeated Cora Jade. Kushida defeated Austin Theory with Johnny Gargano by DQ. So now preview to NXT Vengeance. These are the matches. Rich, you want to run them down?
Absolutely. All right. So we have the Women's Dusty Rhodes Classic Finals, which is either going to be Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez versus Shotzi Blackheart and Ember Moon. Winner gets a future women's tag team title match, which could probably take place at WrestleMania.
For the women's title?
Yeah, for the women's tag titles.
I you know what? I should ask about that. I don't know. Have you heard anything, Rich? Has anybody spilled the beans on that to you?
I do think the women's tag title division needs a jolt. So why not have Shotzi? I think it's going to go to Shotzi and Ember, and that's going to be the WrestleMania match. Shotzi and Ember versus it's Nia Jax and Shayna still, right?
Yeah.
Where am I, by the way?
Where'd you go?
I'm on another planet.
Okay,
I couldn't
that's okay.
remember the title holders. We also
It's a lot to
have
keep track of.
It
is.
a
There's-
lot of
And
titles to keep
also,
track of.
it'd be nice to have the teams where they're not fighting all the time with each other.
Yeah,
That'll also shake it up because you do forget that they're a tag team.
that's their new thing. You have the men's Dusty Rhodes Classic Finals, MSK versus the Grizzled Young Vets. I think they're gonna give it to MSK, and I'll give you a reason. One, I feel like having MSK on the roster is their retort to losing LAX to AEW.
I guess, yeah. That makes
Yeah.
sense logically, but it's sort of a weird battle for them to fight because I don't think anyone else cares.
Right.
Like,
I think
LAX has done well at AEW, no doubt, but
yeah. So, but we've been talking about this on the show about how like the people that that NXT missed out on. They're doing like almost like AEW light, right? So MSK definitely takes the place of like an LAX, or I'll say the Briscoes, you know? Kurt
They still
Stallion.
can't get them off that chicken farm. They've refused to.
No.
leave?
They will not leave that chicken farm in Delaware.
Oh, well, all right.
Kurt Stallion is like the NXT version of Hangman Page, kind of, right?
Okay, he's
Like
a cowboy.
The old cowboy.
Yeah.
So I think MSK is going to take it on Sunday.
He's a blonde cowboy.
And those guys are awesome too.
Yeah, very good.
We also have the NXT Women's Championship, Io Shirai versus Toni Storm versus Mercedes Martinez. What do you guys think?
I'm interested in this match because I want to see, because this is going to kind of lay out what the next couple programs are going to be, right? Because right now Toni Storm is hot. Her new heelish character is a nice spin on the original character, where she's, you know, a younger girl, tomboyish, right? That's her gimmick. She's tough.
Right.
She's obviously she's a beautiful woman, but on top of that, she's this tomboy, and it connects. But the big story was, how long can you keep this gimmick up? Because at one point you're gonna kind of age out of being that cutesy tomboy. Now we've seen the development of this character where she has a little bit more edge, which I really like. Mercedes Martinez, I like a lot. Io Shirai, obviously, we don't really have to say much because she's phenomenal. We all agree on this. Do you take the title off of Io and move her? Do you move Tony? I think Mercedes Martinez has to stay in NXT for sure.
Yes,
but
yeah.
Obviously we'll do our speculation and everything on where we're heading with this matches for our preview when we're doing this live on F4W Online Wrestling Observer on this Sunday. Oh, dude, I didn't even ask you, Rich. Am I screwing up your Valentine's Day plans?
No.
Oh, I felt bad for a second. Holy moly, I'm sorry.
Let me tell you something. Right now. My wife and I do not give a shit about Valentine's Day.
Okay, thank you.
Good man.
Thank you.
Good man.
Good man. Yeah, we're not really doing much. I'll probably take an edible and just hang out.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
what I'm saying.
After the show.
During the show. Before the show.
I love your wives, but don't be forced to do it on Valentine's Day.
What if I lose my mind and I just start screaming at Brian and Dave?
Oh my God.
On
air?
Start calling them.
What kind of edible is this?
Oh, it makes me angry. Makes me crazy. I go nuts. I want to take one that makes me go nuts. Start screaming. I'll call Brian, start yelling at him on the phone.
I think you're thinking about cocaine.
Oh, is that what
Yeah,
happens?
that's a different thing. Yeah, it's the wrong thing.
Wrong thing.
He's been really into meth.
Really?
Yeah.
By the way, no drug use. We're making drugs here,
of course.
Obviously. A little bit of housekeeping here before we go into AEW highlights. Watch along, obviously, this Sunday, NXT Vengeance Day, live. Mattman Podcast is going to be live on F4W's, I believe it's YouTube or Twitch, maybe both. Maybe we could do it on our YouTube and then do it on their Twitch. We'll line up some guests again. I would love to have Denise call in again. I'd love to have Garrett call in again. And I think we should open up the lines for our viewers, so our viewers could call in and make this into make this more into a traditional watch along. By the way, we did skip the main event of the NXT Championship, Finn Balor and Pete Dunne. I don't want to touch on that because then I'm going to go into the fundamentals of the match and where I want it to go, and I want to save that for this Sunday. But I do think that Finn Balor should win. Yes. NXT Takeover we're going to be doing. Also, Elimination Chamber, we're going to do a watch-along. I'm not sure where we're going to be doing that one. But AEW Revolution watch-along will be on F4W.
So 3 Sundays in a row.
I'll be in the studio for that one.
Awesome. I'll take off the following day for that.
That's a Sunday. That's a Sunday, right?
I believe so.
Oh, wait, is it?
Yeah, they moved to Sunday.
Why did they decide that, out of curiosity? What's the logic?
They moved it. Well, I heard a couple things. One, they've kind of plateaued with their number for the rating.
Yeah.
For the buys, right? They were about 100 to 130, let's say, right? I'm just throwing.
For their pay-per-views.
I was told by somebody, not at AEW, but someone that is a partner of theirs, that they're moving it for a multitude of reasons. But one of the interesting things was to see if there will be a ratings difference in pay-per-view buys. If Saturday versus Sunday makes a difference. I'm not saying this is the main reason, but it was something that was brought up by one of these partners. So it could be Fight, it could be BR Live. I'm just saying it's a partner, not AEW themselves. they want to see if there's going to be a difference in pay-per-view buys, because it is traditionally Sundays are a wrestling pay-per-view night, not Saturdays.
Right.
For the last 20 some odd years. So it may maybe people are just very used to Sunday nights watching wrestling and not Saturday nights, and you may get a nice 15%, 20% boost in your subs, or maybe not. But
well, also Sunday nights are the just traditionally from a television standpoint, they're the most watched night of the week because most people are home. Saturday night, a lot of people are out and about, so they're gonna miss.
Yeah. I hope this does not stick. For my own selfish reasons.
Mm-hmm. Same here.
I really, you're in the same boat too. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I love a Saturday pay-per-view because I feel less pressure for the day, for the next day.
Oh yeah, it's a lot more excitement. Yeah, then Monday you got to go right to bed. Get up Monday. It's always
And I can't ever go back to bed. It's actually difficult for me because I'm so hyped from talking for like 5-6 hours.
And the cocaine edibles.
And the cocaine edibles. Yeah, and the edibles.
Wink, wink. No, not true. Not at all true.
Not at all true. So I honestly, it's difficult for me. So selfishly, I like it on Saturday.
I get that. It's a more fun energy for me when it's on a Saturday, a little bit.
Did you see the Forbidden Door promo by Tony Khan on Impact, Rich?
Yes. Is Tony Khan the Forbidden Door?
He's the Forbidden Door. He now resides in the Forbidden Door on Twitter. His location is the Forbidden Door.
Oh, wow.
Listen, man, I like that they're leaning into this whole thing. And listening to that commentary last night on AEW, they're really making this like a honeypot for wrestling fans that are in the same boat as we are. You know what I mean? Like
I don't like to get overly excited about stuff like when I'm talking about it on the show. But I really there are moments during this show, especially the main event, that I genuinely I enjoyed wrestling like I was watching it. You know, like I'm a big. It's hard because when you're doing this, like Rich and I talk about this all the time. Whenever I show like deep emotion for something, then in the comments like, oh look, AEW super fan or whatever, WWE, you love WWE, you hate it. I love everything.
They're saying you're biased.
I'm biased, yeah. And you know what? I got to tell you, the main event I love that main event. I thought it was really cool to see everybody with their gimmicks, with their belts and their briefcases and everything, which we'll talk about. So like I got into it, and that is a big thing. You know, the excitement makes a big difference.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It definitely does. I mean, they got a good energy. Tony Khan, I like he's putting a little more emotion into this character thing because they just start out as promos. And now I guess he's kind of losing his mind slightly or, it's fun to watch.
Yeah, so also this Saturday we're going to have Impact's pay-per-view, No Surrender. I am not doing a watch-along for that.
Oh, boy.
That I cannot do. I cannot do 2 nights back to back. So it's going to be interesting. So we started the show off with, and I don't see it in the notes here. Here we go. TNT Championship match. TNT Championship, Darby Allin and Joey Janela. I got to tell you, Joey Janela to me is becoming more and more like a shrunk Jericho. He kind of looks like you took Jericho and you just like squished him a little bit from like
that's
1998. He fascinating. You know what? I thought it was a cool match. I thought Darby worked really hard in that match. Darby looked really good. Joey, he was okay. He did his thing. I don't think it was this blockbuster of a match, but I thought it was a really good match. I thought they did a good job. Very good job.
The commentary was kind of great to enjoy with that match. They painted a nice picture.
They did.
A warm picture.
The commentary team is so much better. They have an unbelievable. Even one of my friends, Mike, does not care for AEW. Right? Casual fan, just doesn't do it for him. It's not what he knows. He likes the stories, and he's more WWE driven. Aesthetically, that's what he knows. That's what he watches. He says to me all the time, he goes, one thing AEW I absolutely love more than what WWE does is the commentary.
Yeah, sometimes I can leave it on in the background, or if I'm, busy, you can't always sit down and watch the show. I can at least have it on in the background. It paints a nice little picture. WWE, it's very similar.
Yeah.
So no matter what show you're watching, it feels
same commentary.
Same commentary. And I don't think it's the fault of those guys, the individuals. I think it's the direction they're given.
Yeah.
But AEW, it's just fun. It's also fun to hear them not talk about wrestling or mention something like I forget something. Somebody brought up weddings and wrestling, and Jim Ross goes, well, I'm no expert on weddings and wrestling. None of mine have worked out, so maybe I shouldn't, I shouldn't comment on that.
JR's talking about how he makes good mustard You
Mustard, sure,
know?
yeah.
I make a good mustard. So I thought it was fine. I just found it funny. I don't know why. Joey Janela has had not a great year as far as where he was pre AEW, because he really was especially here in the Northeast, I should say, right?
Yes,
Northeast, he was really becoming a big name on the independents. People were very into. They were very into him.
He was the Indious darling.
He was the Indious darling, and I think the cool part about him was that he was kind of a throwback, but still very new. You know, there was something different he was doing. He had some edge to him. I think the Enzo chicken, the chicken fight he had with Enzo.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Made the whole thing look weird because he's like this tough guy, and he didn't beat the crap out of Enzo. Not to say that I wanted to see them beat each other up, but it was weird to see that. And for a majority of last year, he was on After Dark, AEW Dark. He was on, he had that great match with Kenny Omega early, in AEW's TV. And after that, not really. They didn't really do much with him.
I will say there's a couple people, for the most part, AEW does a really great job with, like, trying to get everybody involved in something or other. But when they lose people, they lose them pretty deep in a weird way, though, as far as being lost in the shuffle. Like Sean Spears is another guy who I'm like, that with all the plans they had with him, he's kind of been lost in the shuffle too. So it happens sometimes. I think Janelle is one of those guys. Sonny Kiss is another one. And Sean Spears are just guys that for whatever reason.
You and I both have worked with Sonny.
Yeah, it's great.
Unbelievable.
Phenomenal.
Unbelievable, in-ring talent.
They just haven't focused on him.
I think for Sonny, I think Sonny's in the right place.
Yeah.
That he should be. I don't think. I think it's going to take more time to develop. What character? Where are you going with the character? Where are you headed?
Well, it's also I kind of want to piggyback on what Harry was saying. I think that the reason for that is now the success of AEW has drawn the attention of that forbidden door, right? So if there wasn't a Gallows and Anderson or a Kenta showing up, or the cross-promotional stuff, you would probably see Sonny Kiss on TV more. I also think that a big part of that early, I don't even know if you want to call it success, but like getting eyes on the product was that weekly challenge that Cody did. Because he was doing that. He was having these awesome matches with like tons of guys that you wouldn't even think about, right?
And it helped. It helped a lot.
It helped, it raised a lot of people's profiles. Yeah.
Yeah. What's his name came from that, right?
Who?
Kingston.
Eddie Kingston, yeah.
Eddie Kingston, had a big run out of that. So I think sometimes people just get lost in the shuffle over there, which does happen. But Sean Spears is a particularly curious one because they've tried to restart that like a couple different times, and then they just keep kind of forgetting about it. I don't know if he's gotten hurt or what have you, but
yeah,
he might be training. He might be helping Cody train at the Nightmare Factory.
Maybe.
With
that's what I call my life.
The Nightmare Factory?
Yeah.
With QT. Angel, let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Do you think Joey Janela should be replaced by Enzo Amore at this point?
You know what? I don't care. I don't care that for the dislike. I'm going to say this right now. I don't care. I know you guys are going to hate this. I want to see Enzo back. I know everybody hates this. I want to see him back.
I wouldn't mind seeing him back, yeah.
Because he reminds me of like the people around that I see every day.
Oh, that's for you.
You know how many Enzos I see daily? You know how many Enzos I run
guys
into?
literally named Enzo.
Guys literally named
Enzo.
35 Enzos. I know too many Andrews and Andrews. I don't like when I meet another Andrew.
No?
I don't like it when I meet another Rich.
That's got to be.
Yeah.
I rarely meet another Harry, so it's fine, but you guys must be dealing with that constantly.
I get very angry when I have another Andrew. There was an Andrew that worked with me, and I had to set up his email address, and I refused to put his name in his email address, just last name.
That's so petty.
I didn't do it. I'm petty. I didn't do it.
It's so unnecessary. It's not like you're not even going to see the email address.
No, I'll never see it, but I don't want to see it. I don't care. So we got.
I'm sorry.
I want to get through this. I know that we're running out of time here. We also had Chris Jericho and MJF defeating the Acclaim. Sammy quits the Inner Circle due to MJF. This dude has to become the #1 babyface in this company after this,
Sammy?
right? Yeah.
Yeah, if it's thick.
Sammy, this has to work for him.
I love this Inner Circle story. It's every week it's made sense and it's been consistent, and the whole thing, like, I also like that they plan stuff out with the Inner Circle thing. So like the next week is gonna be the town hall. Like I don't even know what the hell that means, but they have a plan for next week. You know, when they do it, or next week we're gonna give you the decision. Like it's been really good, and it's a natural progression. Like I told you, I'm quitting, and I'm quitting.
Yeah. So I thought that was good. What else do we have on this? I'm trying
the Darby Allin stuff.
The Darby Allin stuff we went through.
Cody Rhodes and Lee Johnson.
Cody and Lee, yeah. So that was interesting. A nice promo on how happy he was to be there after the match. I guess they're making this kid into something.
And Cesar Bononi too, because he was on NXT for a while and then kind of disappeared.
Yeah. You're right. Then we had the unsanctioned Falls Count Anywhere. I'm gonna skip through this here. We also got a Good Brothers promo, which I thought was interesting. We saw that.
That was great. Yeah.
So we got the unsanctioned Falls Count Anywhere match with Kenta and Kenny Omega defeating Jon Moxley and Lance Archer with Jake Roberts. What a bizarre match to read out loud. But I thought the aesthetic of, Kenta came out first with his briefcase. They brought up IWGP, US, the US title positioning. They brought up a lot of New Japan stuff, a lot. Kenny Omega comes out with the obviously the AEW World Heavyweight Championship, and Jon Moxley, IWGP US title.
That's right.
Oh, I popped hard when I saw that belt on TV.
I liked it, and there's an internal story here amongst all four of those people in the ring, right? Kenny had the US title. Moxie has the US title currently. Archer challenged for the US title, still in the mix for the US title.
Yeah.
And Kenta holds the briefcase for the US title.
It's all revolving. It's a good little story.
Really good story.
Is Archer still with New Japan technically?
I don't know what their relationship is.
I think he has the same deal that Mox has, where he has the option to go there if he wants to.
Yeah, but I was told that something happened there. Like, it wasn't great, the relationship. Something had... I should follow up, actually. I'll take a note for that. Here's a cool thing, though, Rich.
Shoot.
How interesting was it to see that how they were positioning Kenta to be so strong?
I thought that was really cool. I also really think they planted the seeds for more of a internal Bullet Club feud in the future, just because the way they were interacting. They put Kenta over big time, especially Mox too. That I feel like for such a limited amount of time, they gave you a taste of what they could bring. Like that diving foot stomp, unbelievable.
Yeah. Oh my God. And not only was the stop, so he comes down with the legs on his arm, obviously, and then he freaking nails him in the face with the knees.
Yeah.
That's the brutal part. It's the after effect that was brutal. I thought it was a good match. Top guys here. All of them were top. There was a cool Bullet Club thing where Gallows and Anderson went for the too sweet, and which Buck did? One of them didn't. The other one's like, no, we do that in the back. We don't do that on TV.
Matt was like
that.
Matt was like, Sting standing right over there. It's embarrassing. I don't want to do it.
Funny.
Yeah. And then they started screaming Stinger red and black or whatever. They did the whole thing and they walked off. Cool nods. You got a WCW nod, you got an NWO nod, you got a Bullet Club nod.
For the people who get it, they get it.
For the people who get it. Now I want to ask about the people who don't get it. AEW does have a lot of casual viewers.
Sure.
Yes.
A lot of new, younger viewers. How many people think that IWGP is the actual promotion?
They might.
Because they said IWGP way more than New Japan. And I was curious about it. Yeah. Because WWE does the same thing too. If you ever realize, they always refer, or they did up until like 2017, they would always refer to the IWGP titles. If you had like when AJ Styles debuted, right? They said,
right. Former
IWGP champion from Japan, same title Brock Lesnar held.
Yeah, it just sounds cooler, I think.
It does. It does
for a brief window. You get these little brief windows where they do cool stuff like that.
With WWE?
Then they shut it right down.
Yeah.
Like, don't even mention that the guy used to wrestle up until yesterday.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Anything else happen on the show that we missed?
Well, I think after the show they did that. Don Callis did like the New Japan style presser.
Yes.
That they released later on with
the titles
Kenny,
on the table.
Right, with Kenny and Gallows and Anderson.
I want to see that. I didn't see that. That sounds so fun.
So Don Callis sarcastically kind of puts over Bullet Club, and he's like, well, you can thank me for your t-shirt sales, basically. Like, we know they went up 40% last time, so it'll be good for you guys, which also makes me think you're gonna get more to this, and like we mentioned this like a couple of weeks ago, a lot of the Bullet Club guys live in Florida, so why not?
Why not? Yeah.
Tama Tonga, Jay White, have these guys show up. I like to call like that all the stuff that AEW is doing with Kenny and the Bullet Club and all this. I feel like it's like, you know what, guys, this one's for the nerds.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely for the hardcore fan. I do like how. And one more thing here is that you got a guy like Jericho and Sting on that card. They're there to elevate the mid card. They're being used.
Yes.
And they're doing it well because
they're doing it well. Yeah.
Pairing Sting with Darby Allin, making him a big star, and Jericho. I mean, that whole group, even Hager was like sort of damaged goods.
And now
there's some value to all of those.
I don't mind seeing him wrestle. It is interesting. Also, Ryan Nemeth had another match, got murdered by Pac. We saw that happen. And Women's World Championship Eliminator Tournament Round 1. Thunder Rosa defeated Layla Hirsch.
Layla Hirsch.
Yeah. So that happened.
And then they drug Darby Allin across the parking lot in a body bag.
Yes. Yeah. They drug him. Drag him.
I wish they did a bit where Taz owns an evil pizzeria. And all the guys work there. Like Brian Cage is slinging pies. Ricky Starks is doing deliveries. Taz's son is working the register.
I'm into that.
Like a real family affair.
Yeah.
All right,
I'd be really into that.
I say shoot it as a reality show and air it right after Bobby Lashley's origin story.
You call it Paz.
Paz. Oh, Paz for pizza.
Pizza. Paz.
Right.
They don't sell pizza. They sell Paz.
They sell
Just
Paz.
Paz.
We don't. It's a different thing entirely.
Also, very unique concept. Really unique. You could order rare, medium rare, well done. That's how you could order pizza.
Oh wow, okay.
So they're like, I like a medium rare Paz.
Really?
It's just mush.
But he gets very angry when they don't do that, kind of like the soup Nazi. So he goes,
well, how do you want it? You want it well done? You want it medium? What do you want?
We don't sell them. We don't sell. What? What are you talking about? We don't sell those. We sell Paz here.
No pizza, Paz.
Get out.
I got a pizza related question for you guys.
Yeah.
Is ordering a pie well done strictly an East Coast thing?
No. I actually, the first time I ever heard about it was on the West Coast.
Get out of here, really?
I was in California. I was at Spence's, and when he ordered the pie, he's like, hey, can I have it well done? I'd never heard anybody order a well done pie before.
Interesting.
It's like 5-6 years ago. 10 years ago, maybe.
The only person who's ever done it in my life was my dad.
Well done.
Who wanted them well done. It was at Pizza Hut, too. He didn't like how soggy the cheese and the sauce was, so he'd always make them cook it. And by the way, we would only order the Super Supreme.
Always the Super Supreme.
It was always 2 Super Supreme pizzas, and we never deviated off that menu.
No stuffed crust for you.
None of that crap. He was not into any of that. It was the Super Supreme. That's it.
My father, maybe it's an immigrant thing. My father loved ordering from Domino's and Pizza Hut. Like, if you're like, oh, let's get pizza, he wouldn't think like Luigi's or
my
whatever.
dad the same
Lucia's. Thing. He would say like, oh, okay. Which one? You know why? And I'll tell you why. It's the coupons.
Oh, okay.
The coupons
Makes
were
sense.
his thing. He's like, oh, which one has a 2 for $5 or whatever the hell the deal is.
Yeah, but I mean, we stuck with pizza. I don't know that my dad. I have no memory of my dad ever ordering from a local pizzeria when I was a little kid. It was always Pizza Hut, not even Domino's, just Pizza Hut.
Yeah,
Wow.
For like a decade straight. I don't get it.
I don't know. I ordered Nona's when Jonathan was here. He experienced a penne pie and a regular marinara pie.
That sounds incredible.
What did you think? We got they have like these ridiculous. I know we're taking a pizza tangent here, but
Sure.
Nona's is very close to where you guys are right now. And the first time we ordered from there, we got like this like ricotta Gruyere mushroom sopressat pizza.
Oh, that could be dangerous. If they get too fancy, it could be dangerous,
Yeah.
Rich. How was this?
It was amazing, and we didn't get sick of it. You know, like sometimes you get those fancy pizzas. You get those fancy pizzas, you eat a couple of slices, and you're like, oh, big mistake.
Yeah.
This was fantastic. It was pretty good. Nice dollop of ricotta on top.
Oh my god, that
They're
sounds
phenomenal.
amazing.
They're great. Maybe that's
Everybody's
what I'll
getting
do.
horny right now.
Everybody's
Yeah,
getting
we're
horny
getting
for
horny.
pizza. Let's see. In other news, obviously, AEW Women's Tournament in Japan brackets to air on YouTube. We had asked this question last week. Where the hell they're airing this? It's starting on Monday on YouTube, so you could go to the AEW YouTube account and you'll start seeing it there. AEW tickets are not on sale yet for Revolution. It should be in a week or so, from what I was told. I don't know why it's delayed. The same thing. I mean, we know why WrestleMania is delayed right now with the ticket sales.
Sure. They don't know what they're doing, but this is less than 2 weeks away or something.
This is less than 2 weeks away, so 3 weeks away. But I expect them to sell really quickly. Maybe they're trying to figure out if they're going to open up more tickets. You know, instead of having 1,000 people there, maybe you could do 2,000 people.
I mean, listen, I'm happy that more people that can attend the shows. You know, they've been doing good with what they have too. It's a good energy. I like it a lot.
WWE earnings call stuff from Friday. They don't believe they've lost eyeballs. They've just moved to digital, and this is interesting, right? Their argument as to why the ratings are low is that people's media consumption has changed, and people don't sit traditionally and watch a 3-hour show. This is a big problem with baseball, right? Baseball during the pandemic wanted to experiment and speed up baseball. So how do they do that? Extra innings, you put a man on second base, which I absolutely hate. Sucks.
Ruins the whole tradition.
Ruined the whole thing. Ruined the integrity of the game. I'm big on the integrity of the game.
See, I think it's a boring game.
But I'm talking about the 90s integrity where everybody was juiced up.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
That's all gone. It's ruined.
It's ruined.
Miss
the good old days.
The good old days. So they're saying that
there's some legitimacy to that to a degree, because listen, I can't sit down live and watch 3 hours anymore.
Well, here's the thing: you don't have to.
Right.
That's why
you can check it out. But do they count Hulu as that the next day?
I'm not. I think they're talking about actual. You know, I don't think they're counting Hulu because Hulu counts part of Nielsen, right? They participate in Nielsen. But I think they're more talking about
YouTube and Instagram.
YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. How much wrestling can you consume? I could go on TikTok right now and know everything that's happened in wrestling in WWE over the last 2 weeks, right on their page.
You can see all of that.
That is not a traditional means of watching wrestling. It's a very unique way that people are now consuming. They're consuming the stuff that they find interesting, and then they move on. That doesn't mean that they're not fans.
Right.
Because globally, you talk about billions of people have seen WWE.
Right.
So what do the YouTube numbers look like on their
It's astronomical. Their YouTube is ridiculous.
Right.
It's been down. It's been down so far, but it's still very high.
All right. So for example, a clip from whatever happened on Raw, right?
Okay.
Whatever the main event was, storyline wise, what does that number do on YouTube versus the 1 point whatever million has been the kind of average lately on Raw?
Let's see. Let's go to WWE's YouTube. 73 million subscribers.
Okay.
Here,
Jesus.
right?
Great number.
Great number. Let's go to...
I do all right. But
let's go to Monday, because Monday's a good example here, right? What was the main thing on Monday?
I don't even remember.
Okay, so
Did
Monday,
post
here we go.
the whole clip?
Here we go. You ready?
They don't post the whole show.
1.1 million views for Lana versus Nia Jax. Okay, 1.1 million. Keith Lee and Riddle got 400,000 people. And by the way, these are 3-minute clips. It's abridged, right? Not a full match. Naomi Shayna Baszler got 600,000. Let's see what else. Bianca Belair encounters Asuka, 290,000. Drew addresses Sheamus, 195. Edge provides an update on his WrestleMania decision, 1 million viewers.
Okay.
So they, if it's a big moment, they'll hit 1 million. And then after that, it's anywhere from 100,000 to 400,000 views.
I mean, there's some validity to that point, but that number needs to be a little bit higher.
But think about how much content last night alone, okay? Last night alone, they did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. There's like 20 videos in a day that they upload.
Yeah. Well, look at this, because right underneath that Raw viewership, you have the SmackDown viewership, and I think it's fascinating that you have 2.3 million views on the Kevin Owens, Edge, and Roman Reigns.
Wow, that's a lot.
Which I feel like is going to drive whatever Edge and KO stuff forward. I think they look at the YouTube stuff and they're like, how can we do more of this? Like look at Damian Priest versus Angel Garza, 500,000 views, which is still awesome, but it's not over 1 million, right? And I feel like that's the marker that they always want to strive towards.
So looking at this is actually hysterical. I'm looking at their top videos ever on their YouTube. The most watched video, 255 million views 7 years ago. Randy Orton makes it personal with Triple H when he punted Steph.
Oh boy!
And Triple H was handcuffed.
Wait, what year was that?
7 years ago it was uploaded.
That was 7 years ago? That happened before 7 years
Number 2, 184 million. John Cena, Brock Lesnar get into a brawl, and a whole ring, everybody jumped the ring and tried to split them up. Number 3, John Cena's proposal in 2017.
Oh, wow.
178 million.
That's got to be awkward.
Following that, John Cena and AJ Lee kiss after Cena's victory. 149 million. John Cena, Batista, Rey Mysterio versus Randy Orton, and I forgot who the opponents are for Tribute for the Troops. That was uploaded 7 years ago, 145 million. Great Khali, 20-man battle royal for the vacant world championship that he won.
There's 2 Khalis in this top 10.
134. Yeah, there are 2
That's got to be
Khalis.
India numbers though.
Yeah,
which works out. It makes sense.
Stephanie McMahon slaps Roman Reigns, 134 million.
That's great.
Very interesting. It says a lot. This says so much, because who would think that AJ Lee and John Cena kissing from 8 years ago would be the number 4 most watched thing on their platform?
She wasn't even on Total Divas
because it's a younger demo. It's a lot of international viewers. It's interesting. It's very interesting to me.
This is very fascinating too, because like the way, like what this tells you is that John Cena is still on top.
There you go.
Right?
Still popular.
Like,
still cracking.
Still popular. He's in the top 10 no matter what he does. I think that. Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead, Rich. I apologize.
I don't know. I was gonna say, I think that era of like these are things from 8 years ago, and this is also like kind of at that start of like Total Bellas and Total Divas and all that.
Sure.
Right?
Well, that explains the John Cena proposal one. That I get. Because that would make sense. But, I mean, The Rock's not in there. There's a lot of things that just don't make sense about that list. Also, it might have been a different algorithm. Who knows? Like, at the time, I don't know what YouTube was running with.
It's fascinating. Listen, I think the YouTube numbers skew younger. Definitely.
They should, yeah.
And,
most definitely.
if you're a John Cena fan and you're like 12 years old, 11 years old, and now, him kissing AJ Lee, you may be into this. You may be into it.
Oh, Rich is saying that they're terrified by it. Like, what's he doing?
Oh!
Girls are icky.
Let's see what else is on this page. And then, by the way, Q&A, guys. Submit your questions in the chat. We're going to do our best to answer them. Rich, do you want to curate them this time?
I got them ready. Whenever you're ready. Whenever you guys are ready to go.
Let's just dive into this. Let's do the Q&A.
All right. So Corey Richmond asks, will there be a women's SmackDown Elimination Chamber match?
Very good question. I have not heard anything about it, nor have I asked. So that's a good question, and I'll find out.
How many actual Elimination Chamber matches are scheduled
right now? Let me see what's been announced. Let's see. I think one.
Just the Raw men's thing?
I think there will be a women's one.
They usually do at least one.
Yeah, no, there is a women's one. Yes, they will have a women's Elimination Chamber match.
Okay,
cool.
Fair enough.
That answers that.
That answers that.
Scar Happy asks, are the Tony Khan promos on Impact the best thing of 2021?
I gotta tell you, it's fine. It doesn't really like.
I mean, I enjoyed when he was doing the holiday ones during 2020 and going, we're here to help we're all about helping the less fortunate, by which I mean Impact Wrestling. And this is a pretty good line.
It's good. It's funny.
It's fun. It's fun. It's not bad. It doesn't have to be great.
It does anything though. I don't think it's doing anything other than popping the people watching.
Maybe, but it also has a little bit of it's just an addition to the storyline. It's just something. It only takes a minute. I'm fine with that. I'd rather that than another either backstage promo or it's just something a little bit different that you're not going to see it again because it's rare that a company invades another company and buys ad time. I think it's cool. I don't think it's hilarious. I don't think it's for me not the best moment, but I enjoy it.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Bachelor 3000 asks, how come MVP can wear Marvel gear and Balor can't wear Marvel DC inspired paint?
What is he wearing? What is
It's
MVP
like a Black
wearing?
Panther. Initially, it was a Black Panther style suit, but it's not a direct. I mean,
not a
it has
direct-
like the same collar that the
I
Black
guess
Panther
it's,
one did.
I guess
and-
it's broad enough of it. Like, I don't think that's as recognizable. Well, you know what though? Gargano does like the Wolverine stuff.
Yeah, but it's color schemed,
Yeah.
so you
Yeah.
can get away with color schemed. I also
Right.
agree. I don't. But Balor used to dress up as the Joker
And the Venom.
and the Venom.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Well, Ray came out as Joker once, right? Like complete with the makeup, and he did Spider-Man, and like every year he would come out as like a different guy.
well, those
and-
outfits are influenced, but I mean, Balor came out in the exact same costume that Heath Ledger's Joker came out in, the whole coat tail. Like, there's a weird level with copyright infringement, so it can be.
Yeah.
Rey Mysterio's thing was influenced, so it has the same color scheme. It has green hair and all that stuff. Or I remember like Alexa Bliss used to do when she was with that tag team. I forget the name of their names, but they all wore Iron Man inspired gear. Or Johnny Gargano did the same thing. It's the same color scheme, but it's not the exact suit.
Right,
like
right.
WCW did with Arachnoman.
Arachno Man.
If you
boy.
remember Arachnoman.
Whose idea was that? Who was that a Dusty thing?
I think it was a Jim Herd.
Jim Herd.
Time
It was
frame.
Jim Herd time frame. Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
the Jim Herd era.
I think it's got to be something to do with like the public purview of these performers. Like I remember seeing, I think there was an ICW show where Finn came out as Bane, full on mask, trench coat, vest,
Right.
and the whole nine. Right? I think it was Finn. So maybe it could be an international thing, or it's just like, they're just guys showing up at an indie show. You know, like the New Japan stuff is fascinating because he came out legit as like Venom on one New Japan show.
Yeah.
You know?
I still think Finn could do it. I just think they don't want to. I think McMahon settled on the Demon is the
He's
best,
yeah.
and
I think
the
that's
Demon
what it was.
King. Yeah, I think that's more it than anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah. So weird. Did you Scar Happy asks, did you hear about the independent shows in Florida during WrestleMania weekend?
Yeah, I think GCW is running, right? I believe they're gonna run an event.
That sounds about right.
That sounds about right.
I
yeah.
mean, I think they were running in Indiana before anybody.
They were running in
was,
Indiana
so-
before anybody was. I don't expect a lot, but maybe GCW does a whole thing there, and that's enough.
I think you're going to see a lot of shows running over
You
there.
think so?
Oh,
I'm
absolutely.
Sure. I have not heard much. Have you?
No, not really. But I think people. It's almost like it didn't occur to people that they could run.
Until now.
Because they didn't expect Mania to even a month ago people didn't expect there to be fans anywhere.
Listen, here's the other thing, right?
Yeah.
It's a big risk. If you're I don't know, CZW, just throwing it out there.
Sure.
How many people do you know, Harry, that have been told there's a stand-up show and they're booked on the stand-up show and they go
Sure.
to the show and the show's canceled?
Sure,
Or
absolutely.
they're
That'll
shut
happen.
down.
That'll happen.
It
yeah.
happened, I think Governors. It happened at Governors
Sure.
on the island.
They start shutting shows down. Yeah.
So I don't know if that's part of the fear. I don't know. I don't think that there's going to be a ton of them. I think GCW is probably running and maybe a couple other people, but maybe some local Florida stuff. But you're not going to see a big. And also, there's nothing left of the indies, guys. I think we got to look at this realistically. Most of these indies are never coming back. We saw Evolve fade away. Evolve got absorbed by WWE. We have GCW. We have CZW. We don't have much. Catalyst Wrestling.
Well, Catalyst Wrestling. Well, it's weird, but they're also on sort of hiatus. So the thing about these independent companies is they can't exist because they don't have anybody under contract.
I think the height of the indies are done. I think we are now in a reset period again.
I agree with that. I think it's going to be different. I think it's going to reset, but I think it'll build back up because there's just too much. The internet is just there to help promote that stuff. There's always going to be more people wanting to do shows, and people are going to be really thirsty for live entertainment that they can afford too, just in general. So I think but I do agree with you. It's in a weird down period now.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens WrestleMania weekend. But I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people are running shows. I mean, Gallows and Anderson, or Gallows mostly, was just talking about the shows he ran in Georgia.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, openly they were talking on their show about, yeah, these people are not aware that COVID is happening. Depending on what town you're in, they're like, there was, no social distancing, right? And that's from the town. That's not Gallows's fault.
Right. I wanna find out more about how he was. I want to say he was running shows while he was still with WWE.
Was he? I'm positive.
He mentioned that on his podcast that he had like a subsidiary or something. I mean, he was still like on the down low. I mean, basically, he was just doing it secretly.
Was he showing up though? He
wasn't showing up, but he was still like running shows, I think. And until he sold the company, he said, like, which is such a weird thing to sell an independent company because all you're selling them is like the ring, basically.
If that.
Right.
If that. If they have
you guys ready? You guys ready for a couple more questions?
Let's do it.
From John Gorman, what do you think the chances are that AEW will pull a swerve and reveal that Sammy MJF are working together to get rid of Chris Jericho from the Inner Circle?
It's possible. I don't listen. I think Sammy they're looking at him as a breakout for younger viewership. Him and MJF could have a long program together. I don't know what you do with MJF and Jericho. If you're going to continue that, if you break them up, I kind of don't want them to break up because I like that they're a crew, and AEW's really big on that to have groups of guys together. I don't know. Maybe it leads to a Sammy and Jericho match.
I think Jericho and Sting are going to do something together at some point.
Face to face. You could say, you're in my territory now. You never gave me anything in WCW, whatever.
I mean, there's just you think they would have had a match, but WCW being what it was, there's so many missed opportunities there. So I think they'll set that up, and that'll let MJF and Sammy work for a little bit, and that makes sense to me.
Yeah,
but we'll see.
All right. Corey asks, when was the last time none of the Undisputed Era was on an NXT Takeover event?
Oh my God, that's a great question. You would have to. I guess you have to go all the way back to 2016
when everybody was still in Ring of Honor.
Yeah, 2016, 2017, right?
I mean, they even brought in Roderick Strong, or
2018?
Yeah, probably. Maybe more. It's been a while. No, I would say 2017 at
Late
least.
2017?
Because they've been there for a while.
Who was there first?
I think all three of them showed up at the same time, if I remember. Am I wrong about that, or no?
Well, they were going to be called something else. Do you remember? I think Roddy showed up first. Roddy came later. Remember, he wasn't part of the Undisputed Era.
Right, no.
He was a foe.
Roddy came after that, though. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, I don't remember the timeline when they all left Ring of Honor.
I think that's been their best acquisition for that brand.
But NXT?
Yeah,
I mean, they've gotten the most out of it. Yeah. They've been phenomenal. It's just, what do you do with them now? And do you bring them up to the roster and then have them not be used?
Yeah.
Like, that's 4 guys that you're going to bring, or you just bring them up and break them up and act like none of that ever happened, because that'll happen sometimes too.
By the way, none of them are on the show on Sunday.
Oh, is that true?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's
wow.
That's kinda,
okay.
So main roster push, maybe. My fear with them, and I feel like this is such like a weird kind of gripe, and like I know, I'm grossed out because I know how WWE does business kind of thing, where if you put these 4 guys in the ring standing next to like Drew McIntyre, Braun Strowman,
it's done.
And Vince has a bad day that day, he might turn around be like, forget it.
Send him over to Superstars or Main Event.
Yeah.
Which are both those still going on?
Yeah.
Both of them.
Main Event is.
Well, I can't keep track.
Main Event's still on.
I just saw somebody send an image of Tucker in Main Event, and it was one of the sadder things.
You know what? It is really sad because you know what, Rich? I got to tell you.
Yeah. You
were really big on Tucker. And for months, well, close to a year, you said, this guy could possibly have a huge breakout singles run because he's a big boy, he's charismatic, but not as much as Otis.
Sure.
But he's a good in-ring. I thought that tag team was, there was no reason to split them up.
Broke them up.
I agree with you.
You broke them up
no reason
to take Otis and put him with people.
Right, which, I mean, like, we've said this on the show several times, where in the last year, it's so nonsensical that you took Peyton Royce and Billy Kay and split them up and then put them with other people, and then Otis and Tucker and then you're
Mandy and Sonya too.
Split them up, and well, it's. I
Yeah.
mean, you know the reason. It's just there's no plan.
So here we go. Mandy and Sonya. No reason to split them up. You split them up, and you were going to do a freaking hair match.
Didn't happen.
Thank God it didn't happen, especially
Oh,
the
yeah.
time that they had planned that thing to happen, right? With
What
the
was-
stalk, because the guy that broke into the house.
Right.
Then you split up Peyton and
Who's supposed to lose that hair match?
Sonya.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So instead, they just took her off TV for a little bit.
Did they explain why they brought her back? I haven't followed that.
I
Because she lost
can't
her.
remember.
She is a loser leaves town, right?
Loser leaves the town. Yeah, the town. Now they're in a different town.
They're in a different town.
They're in a
you are
different
right.
town
We're in
now.
a different county. I got
Exactly.
Yeah. Listen, you cannot have a match in Dade County, but you
Yeah.
can. You can in Broward.
you in Broward.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
There you go.
Yeah. You like my Florida
I
references?
do. Very local.
Yeah.
Shout out to Justin Robert Young.
Shout out to Justin Robert Young. What else do we have here? Any other questions?
We got one more over here from Louis Lamberti. Any confirmation on the amount of tickets they're going to release for WrestleMania?
Yes. I was sold 25,000.
Same as the Super Bowl.
Same as the Super Bowl. 22
Actually,
to 25,000.
it's 25,001, so that they can say they outdrew the
Outdrew-
Super Bowl.
You know what? Can you
It was
imagine?
very petty.
I want them to do the gimmick number, right? Like, what's the gimmick number for this? Because now we're restricted, right? So you can't say you have 98,000 people in the building when you really have 70. So I'm curious if they're gonna gimmick the number and say they've shattered the record for
They
COVID.
have shattered the
You know what?
COVID entertainment record.
Yes.
You know what? I'm gonna say no. Texas ran.
A full show. Yeah, you're forgetting.
Texas had like 50,000.
We're forgetting about college football.
Yeah.
Forget it. There's
Yeah.
no way WWE can break that record.
Okay.
Alabama just
I'm
did it
gonna
last
call
week,
it right now.
or Georgia.
I'm gonna call it right now.
Yeah.
Okay. WWE's gonna call 42,000 people in that building.
Oh
Okay.
wow, they're gonna say that it's
They're
42,000.
gonna say, yeah, they're gonna say 42,000
What is the
people in the
I
building.
mean, it's ego, but what is the purpose of that? That's nowhere near shattering the record.
I mean, WrestleMania 3 didn't have, whatever they said,
Yeah, that's
98,000 people.
That's
It was
true,
74. Poor
What-
Dave
what
Meltzer
number-
still to this day, he gets his ass handed to him online by people telling him he's wrong.
That's
What
been going
number WrestleMania is this?
59.
on.
No, 37.
37.
I bet you the number is going to be 37,000.
Oh, that's actually
that's
interesting.
pretty good.
Yeah. Okay, you know what? I'll go with you.
Pretty good.
37.
I mean, if you're just gonna be picking them arbitrarily, why not make it
Yeah.
a nice, even
Yeah.
OCD style?
97,633.
Oh, 100%. They're going to go, oh, what a coincidence. It was meant to happen. 37,000 people, WrestleMania 37. And then have some kind of classy Freddie Blassie hologram show up.
Yeah. By the way, I went down a Fred Blassie rabbit hole.
Yeah.
I watched Breakfast with Blassie with him and Andy Kaufman.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
I got to tell
Bizarre.
you, but it was such great comedy
Mhm.
because they were in on the joke, right?
Sure,
Everybody
yeah.
was in on the joke, but they were so good at ad-libbing this shit out of that video. It's like an hour long.
Yeah, it's a
Mhm.
very bizarre little thing. I just watched the first half of it than a year
They're
ago.
in LA. They go to breakfast, and Freddie Blassie is screaming. He's like, "Don't talk to the broads." Like these girls go over and they're like, "Hey, mister, can we have an autograph?" He's like, "Oh, you see I'm eating, you dumb broads." He's like insulting them while they're eating their.
And they want Andy Kaufman's autograph because he's on Taxi.
And Andy was gonna do it, but looked at Freddie Blassie. He's like, "No, he doesn't want me to do it." So and then he starts acting like a
He
tough
starts
guy.
being mean to the ladies.
Yeah.
The Andy Kaufman stuff is always worth
So good.
revisiting
because
the
it's so
entire
unnatural.
way.
Him being mean is so unnatural.
Oh my goodness!
It's so it's so good, so good.
And then of course Letterman.
Yeah.
The clip of him slapping Kaufman on Letterman, phenomenal stuff.
What's his name?
Jerry Lawler.
Jerry Lawler.
Jerry Lawler slapping Kaufman.
Jerry Lawler makes me uncomfortable sometimes.
Does he? In
Yeah.
what sense?
I don't know. Just
I hear you.
I don't know why. I get very
Uh,
uncomfortable. Like I don't know if he's like going to take something serious or he's going to take it as a joke.
That he could take it as a joke.
Yeah. He's one of those.
I
to me.
mean, yeah, but he's got more. I mean, there's only a few moments where he's been super serious, and that mostly of that was with Jim Carrey. Oh,
yeah,
that's Jim Carrey.
absolutely.
Puppies.
puppies.
Harry, did you ever hear my Jerry Lawler impression?
No, let me hear it, Rich.
No, I don't want to be on your podcast.
That's what he said to him.
Is that
Is it?
true?
Yeah.
Pretty
Wow.
much, yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
wow. When
yeah.
did you ask him?
Many years ago when we first started the show, and he was sitting at near Comic-Con in a booth in a weird section of the show floor. It was like a section where people sell like comic book and manga related clothing. So he was kind of sandwiched between two people selling hats.
Hentai porn and hats.
Hentai porn and hats. Oh,
he was
my
just
goodness.
sitting there. Nobody at like his table or anything. He was just sitting there hanging out, like not even looking at his phone, just hands crossed on the table, looking straight ahead. Right. I'm not the type of guy to interrupt people when they're doing something. So I was like, all right, nobody's there. Let me go say what's up. Hey, what's up, man? Do you mind if I get a couple of minutes for you for the podcast? Like, and he looked at me and he goes, no, I don't want to be on your podcast. And then he put his head down and I was like, all right. And me and my buddy walked away, and that was it. That was
your encounter with Jerry Lawler.
Listen,
that was my encounter.
You got to also remember, like, how many people ask him probably to do stupid stuff? Can you make a video for my friend?
Yeah.
Can you make this? Can you?
Yeah.
At what point do you say no? You know what he does though? He ends. He was like Rich left, and he just put his head down like this for the remainder.
Oh, like he was. So okay,
just
so he
went to
doesn't
bed on his
drink,
desk.
right? He's not a drinker, so we know he wasn't hungover.
No, he just didn't
He
want to deal with
just
it.
was probably irritated.
He's freaking, of course. He's sitting
Probably-
next to hentai porn and hats.
And also there was no
Staring at
line, so
nothing.
maybe he realized maybe he lost some money because
Maybe.
I ran into him at a Comic-Con. He was nice. I didn't do too much talking to him, but he was actually pretty chatty in the moment. So you might have caught him on a bad day. Not that I need to defend Jerry Lawler. He might be a jerk. I don't know. I don't know the guy personally.
I like that you guys are good personal friends, and you're defending him today.
Listen,
I gotta-
it wasn't- go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I own a piece of his art. I have
Oh, do you?
in my house. I had a drawing of Adam West's Batman that he drew, and someone got it for my birthday at a Comic-Con.
I want there to be a series where it's just wrestlers painting.
Oh yeah.
Like Damien Demento drew that of me.
Oh, is that true?
That is true.
Oh,
100%.
Yeah, Jerry Lawler's pretty. He is a genuinely talented artist. Like his
Yes.
work is really good. So I don't know who else does art in wrestling that we
Jeff
know.
Hardy.
Jeff Hardy. Okay.
Yeah.
A few other people.
The Illuminummies, or as he calls them.
The Illuminummies.
That's what they were called. We would have these big statues on his North Carolina ranch.
And he made them?
Yeah, he like welded them or something. Like they're statues in the sense of like they're like steel scrap metal that's formed into the shape of like a stick man figure.
Steve Austin, he draws.
Does he?
Yeah.
I did not know this.
No, he doesn't, but I want to see that show.
Jesus.
Like a Bob Ross style Steve Austin.
Well, goddamn.
Goddamn, pal.
You want a bunch of happy little trees here? Give me a hell yeah.
Dexter Loomis.
Dexter Loomis is a talented artist.
He's a
Yeah,
talented
he's very
artist.
good.
Rich is a talented artist.
There you go.
Thank you. I don't have anything against Jerry Lawler. I just thought it was funny.
No, hilarious.
Well, you did get robbed by Virgil.
I did get. Oh, that was when I was like
one of
20
the
years
many.
old.
One of
Yeah.
the many.
Yeah.
How did he get you? The old photo scam?
He got me with the old photo scam. Me and my buddy, another it was at Madison Square Garden Comic Convention 2001. And me and my buddy met, and WWE was having a show that weekend, like a house show.
Oh, wait a minute. This was 2000. So you were young.
Yeah, I was like 19, 20.
I honestly thought this was like 2010.
No, I know better.
If only because Virgil has continued to do it.
Yeah.
And probably still will.
So it's classic Virgil story. Me and my buddy are like, oh shit, it's Virgil. And he's like, what's up, guys? How about a picture? And I go, sure. And then we take the picture and he's like, all right, $20. And he puts his hand out. And I was like, oh, I didn't realize. And he was just like, kind of, at this point, now I know what he was doing. But back then I was like, well, this guy's not leaving me alone for $20. Let me just give him $20. So I give him $20. A big autograph. He gives me like a big autograph picture of himself. And then, again, there's nobody really there to see him. He followed me and my buddy around the convention for like an hour. Like,
And
what's
saying
up,
what?
guys? How you doing? Hey, Virgil, what's up, man? You guys doing all right? Yeah, good. We rounded another corner. He was there.
Was this to get money?
He didn't ask for any more money than the 20 I gave him.
He just wanted to harass
So
him.
the transaction is done. And
Transaction's done.
so he got money from you.
He got money, and then I got stuff. I was disgruntled, and then he kind of just was there at every turn. We were like haunted.
That was so creepy.
The haunting of Virgil, he just followed you around like a ghoul.
And it was like a small show floor, so there really wasn't like that many places to go. This is before like New York Comic Con, where it's like
Blew up
Javits
big.
Center. This is like in a loading area of Madison Square Garden where it was mainly retailers and maybe like, you know, like Virgil and like, I want to say like Raven was there. And we ran into the Hurricane. Hurricane took a bunch of pictures with us and chatted about comics, which was awesome. Didn't ask for money.
That's nice.
Nice.
That's a good
Hurricane,
Hurricane
a good
story.
guy. All right, we got a
Someone
positive.
tweet that about that to Hurricane that in
Sugar
2000,
Hurricane
2001.
helps.
He didn't ask for a dime. Well,
Thanks
maybe
for not
no. Wait a
asking for
minute.
money.
Was this the same time as Virgil?
This was the exact same show.
Oh, so you know what? Then your year is off. You're probably in like 01, 02.
Okay.
Was he the Hurricane?
He was dressed head to toe as the Hurricane.
Okay, so that would have to be 2001 at the minimum because that's the invasion angle, and then he's not the Hurricane.
Did
so
someone say invasion angle?
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
I got to go.
All right, let's wrap it up, guys. That's it for this week. We'll see you all on Sunday. For all things Harry, follow Harry. He's on
That's
Twitter.
right. Go to at Harry Turjanian and also check out the other podcast I do with Dante Nero, Man School 202. It's sex and relationship advice for men and women.
Great
it's
show.
A great
I've
show.
been on it.
Yeah, Andrew's been on it. You can see the episode on YouTube if you want to see Andrew on it.
I have. Great show. Rich?
Yes, sir.
BTC 2.0.
Hi. Oh, that's right. BTC 2.0.
I
forgot that we're doing these now. Hey, you can follow me at BTC Rich on Twitter. I got my podcast out once a week on YouTube. BTC Rich X is the channel. I talk about comic books.
Can you have me on just to talk about 90s X-Men?
Yeah, absolutely.
Freaking love 90s X-Men.
Nice. The cartoon.
Come on and pop the
Anything
territory.
love Jim Lee.
Fair enough.
Love it.
Yeah,
you can follow me at Andrew Zarian on Twitter, Mattman Podcast on Twitter, Mattman Pro Wrestling on TikTok, Mattman Podcast on Facebook, Mattman Podcast on Instagram, the Mattman Podcast group. We're also available everywhere podcasts are available. Subscribe to us here on YouTube, subscribe to us on iTunes or wherever the hell you listen to your podcast. Also, we are on the F4W website, on the Wrestling Observer website. Head on over to f4wonline.com or wrestlingobserver.com. And you can check us out there. We'll be there this Sunday, guys. Broadcasting live for our watch-along for NXT Takeover Vengeance Day.
Nice.
We'll have more information posted within the next day or two about that. And that's it. We'll see you all next time. Bye-bye for now.
Later.
Rich,
Beautiful.
Rich,
That's
buddy.
fun.
Good to see
Yes,
you,
sir.
pal.
Good to see you too, man. What are you guys gonna do now?
No, I got a show at 1:30.
Oh, shit. What are you doing at 1:30?
I got What the Tech.
Oh, shit. All right, let me.
If you want to hang out, you can hang
I'll
out.
hang out for a bit.
Yeah.
But I might. I'll take off after that. and
Talk
go
about
get
that
something.
radio.
Talk about the radio. How you doing, Rich? What's going on, bud?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I can't complain. I'm
Thank you, everybody.
I'm pretty much just like working from home. So
Okay.
I'm happy about that. I don't have to go anywhere. I've been feeling very like really into working from home lately.
Good.
You know what? I'm feeling that today.
I'm just happy
Yeah.
that you're home. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I
great.
have to get out of the house still today. I hate leaving the house on Thursdays
Why?
because I have so much to do
Right.
and I don't have like 5 minutes. Like I don't have 5 minutes to leave, and me leaving will affect the rest of my day.
Why don't you at least go literally take a 5-minute walk, get some fresh air?
No, I have to go like do stuff. I have to go like.
Oh,
to
you're
the
saying
store.
you have errands and stuff, but you don't have.
Yeah.
Oh, you're in the middle zone where
Yeah.
you don't have. You
Yeah.
can't go out to do the errands because you have all this shit going on, but you want to get out. But
Yeah.
if you get out, you have to. Oh, okay, fair enough.
Work shoot
Did you shovel?
podcast. Yeah, this morning. I was shocked at the amount of snow. Do you guys use the Stereo app? No. What is Stereo app?
I don't know.
Let's find out. All right, Rich. Thank you.
All right, brother.
All right,
Later.
guys.
Love you guys.
Brother.
Love you guys.
Bye.
I'll see you. Bye bye.